かえりなさいませ。ご主人様、お嬢様。Welcome to the White Rose Cafe. Hello. Welcome back. How's it going? Thank you for waiting for me to have a food and a tea. I have more tea here. My hands are so cold that my fingers aren't bending right, so I'm gonna hold on to this mug. Hello, Ketchup. Hello, Karen. Hello, Panis. Hello, Yusha. Hello, Sunfavor. Hello, Hikage. How's it going? You eated a gyro? Sounds tasty. So, we are picking... Oh my god, we haven't loaded this up since October of 2021. Good, I'm glad. Hello, Cronus. I would like to, run back through and... Wait, how do I get to the... Oh yeah, there we go. So there's a character chart here. 2000, shut the fuck up. Hello, Noonlius, Noonman, Afternoonman. I'll get a good one someday. How's it going, Phileas? So in this game, there are, I think, 2 worlds right now, and we don't know how they're related yet. There is the myth world, which is the normal world. This is our main character. His name is Meito Tanabe. He's a thought cell. I don't know how to phrase it. He's like he's one of those guys who thinks he's like super smart. Talks about philosophy a lot. No. And he comes from a world that's the same as ours, except nobody has a shadow. Hello, Rice. A fellow... No! Hello, Jillian. He's the I go to the library dude. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Hello, Levant. You got a new job. Hell yeah. Congratulations. This is the summer day schematic. Oh my god, no. Everyone's Ben... Yeah, we used to call him Ben Shapiro, I thought. Didn't we? I forget now. Anyway, he runs into this girl named Shimon who has a shadow, and he's like, that's weird. So he follows her, and she has this big portal. She's like, oh, do you want to come to my world? And he's like, yeah, I guess so. So he goes through, and everyone there is like a shadow. So they have no character sprite, but otherwise they're normal people. Then they find these 2 girls who are amnesiacs. So is a little brat, and Ruri's an One-san, and they kind of take them in, and now all these 4 live together. This is just a little girl they hang out with. Her mom keeps a lot of books. Oh, he hears a voice calling for him through the portal. So his motivation right now is to, I guess, figure out what it is. So they go to the village chief, and he's like, oh, you should talk to the book girl. And she's like, well, I thought I had a book on voices. You should go find it. He keeps a journal, by the way. The only thing he's written in it so far is like his school psychology notes from the first bit, I think. She's like, yeah, there's this weird woman on the edge of town who has a lot of books and who might know about voices. You should go talk to her. So they go all the way out to the end of the village, and he finds the book, says like a line or 2 implying it's his own diary, and then is like, it's not a big deal though, it's fine. I found the book, so I'll return it to Kotomi. They like don't talk about it at all. It's very weird. Whenever he... Oh yeah, he's racist against shadows, so whenever he sees a shadow, his stomach like tightens up. He's so grossed out by them. But he's growing as a person. He's learning to be like, oh, they're fine. Hi, Maya. Waking up? Big stretch? Then, pretty much every time he goes to bed, we go into this other world called the Asgard. That, starts with... It's narrated by this character named Berserker, who is basically like, we think, a child in a teenager's body. He talks in a way that's very broken. Like, he doesn't know what a lot of basic words mean. We did not have Maya the last time we played this. I don't think so, anyway. I might have just gotten her, I forget. Uh, and he lives with his mom, who like cannibalizes him and says it's because she loves him. I don't know if he like regenerates or something. And eventually he kills her and eats her because he loves her too. And he wanders out and meets this girl named Odin, who we think looks just like Shimon, the pink-haired girl who led Tanabe into the shadow world, right? But she's kind of nuts in this one. She like takes him into the town that the main world takes place in, and he sees the shadows and he's like, "Oh, gross, 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 gross." So she gives him an axe and she's like, "Oh, you want to kill him, right? Go ahead. You should actually. You should do it." So he does. He slaughters a bunch of them, and we sort of see his reflection in the axe, and it looks a whole lot like Tanabe, but we don't know if the artist just can only draw one guy or if that's supposed to be him. There's no character sprites in this world. So after that, Odin takes him to basically the house that Shimon takes everybody in to. And he meets this like council of people with Norse mythology names that are all trying to like exterminate shadows, and he starts feeling like really uncomfortable. He doesn't actually like killing them. It's just like an impulse, I guess. And he's like, I'm not so sure about this. Uh, he thinks he likes her, but he's also really scared of her. So she takes him down to the basement, and she's like, "So this here's Loki. You should take care of him." And Loki's just some guy that they've got chained up in the basement. Uh, and he talks to Berserker like a normal person, so Berserker likes him. Loki's got a son upstairs who is also kind of nice to Berserker. Uh, for whatever reason, no one's allowed to talk to Loki in the basement. I forget if they said why. Uh, and Loki's straight up like, "Oh, don't you have a name?" And he's like, "It's Berserker. She told me it was Berserker." He's like, "Don't you have a real name? You don't think these are actually our names, do you? Like, it's just a North mythology chuny code name. What's your real name?" And he's like, "I don't know." What do you mean? So he talks to Odin, and he's like, "I don't really want to exterminate shadows. Also, why can't we let Loki out of the basement?" She's like, you like ate your mom, right? It's because you love him, right? You should like eat Loki, I think. I think you should try eating him." This says eats. I don't know if we got there. I don't know. And then there's some kind of weird shit happening with the narration where like there's some meta shit going on. Like there's one single person I know who has played this game, and it's because they did the QA on it. And they keep swapping between like single quotes and double quotes for the dialogue. And apparently, when he worked on it, he talked to his supervisor and he was like, "Hey, should I be like marking this as a grammatical error?" And his supervisor said, "No. Nope, leave it alone." So there's some weird shit where like sometimes characters will suddenly get really serious and start talking in double quotes. And I can't tell if they're like talking outside. It wasn't Steiner, no. They're talking like outside or they're talking to us, the reader. I'm not sure, but there's some weird shit going on. When we last left off, they were planning a birthday party for Shimon, the pink one, and I think they wanted to like do fireworks or something, but fireworks don't exist in this world, so they decided to just have the whole village like pick a bunch of flowers and then throw petals somewhere to kind of be like fireworks to make her happy. Sol has been hanging out with Tanabe a lot, the brat girl, and she I think got her leg hurt the day before this, and then she went missing, and the whole village went looking for her, and they couldn't find her. So I think that's where we're at. Um, there's also been some weird shit where he keeps like, I guess, meta talking, and he has no idea what's happening. He'll like start talking in double quotes and be like, "Wait, what?" Like, I'm laying in bed with my eyes closed. I'm like half asleep. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what this is. So it's getting kind of neat, but that's where we're at. They're all looking for So. I guess she's disappeared. Oh, there's a village chief. He's like Shimon's grandpa almost. Her parents are not around, so he took care of her, but she made the decision to leave. So up until she found Tanabe and So and Riri, she was alone in this big house, I guess. But a heavy atmosphere hung over the living room. Where could she have gone? To Shimon, this must have made absolutely no sense. 3 of us left yesterday, but only 2 of us returned, and we didn't know where the 3rd had gone. I'm sure she'll come back. We just have to stay strong and wait. I suppose. Shimon was unhappy. What a waste of her birthday. No, that's not true yet. We just had to find So. Then we could celebrate with everyone and show Shimon our fireworks. The chances of us finding her were 100%. We just had to keep searching until we did. She's going to be getting hungry soon anyway, considering how she eats. She'll come running back then. Also, hello, Tao Warlord. This VN sounds normal? It so is. It's very normal. Hello, Meta. Hello, Knit. So don't worry, we'll find her today. Okay. I had no proof it would actually happen. I was just hoping it would. But that was fine. I was able to ease Shimon's worries somewhat at the very least. So what I had said wasn't pointless. I'd never agree with someone saying it wasn't the right thing to do. Oh yeah, whenever he says something obnoxious and ooh, that's loud. Starts quoting Nietzsche. Oh, you can't hear the music. I'm sorry. I forgot I still had that muted. How's that? Volume good? Volume good? What was I gonna say? Yeah, whenever he starts quoting Nietzsche, we post a picky think in the chat because he's a brainlet. Everyone from yesterday had already gathered together. They stood up once they saw me. None of us said a word. We just headed back into the forest in silence. I was hoping that we'd find her, almost as though it were natural that we would. At the very least, we were working with favorable conditions. The surroundings were quiet, and our voices carried well off into the distance. Thank you for the ponytail, Redeemusha. But despite that, we still didn't find her. Thank you for the Megane as well. We even did the same thing we did yesterday, but we still had no luck. My throat didn't hurt as much as it did yesterday. I suppose I was getting used to yelling like that. My chest wasn't in pain either. Or perhaps it was just because I was so confident that we'd find her. It was as though that confidence had built a foundation of sorts in my chest. I wasn't in pain anymore. I was going to find her, no matter what. Had enough of a break? We didn't speak at all after descending the mountain. Hearing the chief talk again was almost comforting. The silence was strange to me. It didn't bother me, though. It felt like my very being had been split apart. I nodded to the chief. The other villagers must have felt the same way. Nato-san. I heard Shimon call me as I headed for the foot of the mountain. Huh? What's up? Shut up. She was really flustered. Did So show up or something? Do you have a moment? She called for me specifically. I guess she didn't want everyone else to hear. Give me a second, guys. I headed for the gate with Shimon. What's wrong? It must not have been related to So then, since she didn't seem comfortable talking about it with the others around. In any case, I wanted her to be... I waited for her to begin. I wasn't sure if I should bring this up now, but I think it's important. Then she said, I found the woman we were looking for. Huh? It took me a moment to process that. She was talking about the woman at the village outskirts that we'd looked for earlier. While everyone else was out, I kept on searching for the voice, and yesterday when I went to the woman's room, she was home. Or the woman's house, whatever. I can worry about that tomorrow. Unfortunately, it seems like she's leaving the village very soon. You'll have no other chance to meet with her otherwise. Did you ask her about the voice? I mean, you went out of your way to visit her house. Double quotes. She wants to speak with you. Apparently she has something really important to tell you. What poor timing. I cursed my rotten luck. The village chief and the others will search for So-san. You should visit the woman's house. Want to go together? Damn it. Hello, Nano. How's it going? I was pissed at So for all of this, too. She had to disappear now of all times and cause all this trouble for this. She was such an idiot. I didn't actually say that, but I wasn't happy. Sorry. I turned and headed for the mountain again. The village chief and others were waiting there. Meito-san? Shimon grabbed my arm. She said it was very important. You might be able to find that voice. Hello, Pokey. How's it going? I'll just find a different lead. This might be your only lead. How do you know that? I'm only searching for the voice because I'm curious about it. Compared to So's safety, it means nothing.
But you don't have to go look with everyone else.
I know it's inefficient. But I can see her smile again if we find her. Maybe I can even see her crying. That seems very important to me. It wasn't until now that I understood what So was trying to say to me before. I want to know more about you because I don't get you at all.
What's the point of that?
She was acting like I used to. I felt like I saw a side of her that I never would have expected. This guy gets it. But that was wrong, Shimon. At least, it was to me. I don't know her well, so I want to know more about her. There was no real reason for me to wait for Shimon to continue. All I could do was give her my thanks as I headed back to the foot of the mountain. What'd she want? Nothing, the usual. Let's get going. The chief didn't seem satisfied with my answers. We continued into the forest. So! Nothing had changed. So was nowhere to be found. So! No one complained about that, though, because it would just make the rest of us depressed. We had Shimon's birthday party to look forward to after, alright. Meito. Chief suddenly shouted. I quickly reacted. I could see a small, inconspicuous cliff covered in trees. And So was there. She must have heard us walking towards her. Yet, she just looked up at the sky, completely out of it. Yo, what happened?
Nothing. I just kinda got lost.
She looked haggard, probably because she hadn't slept due to being so hungry. It hurt to look at the bags under her eyes. The dumbass, don't make us worry about you like that. The chief lightly poked her head. She didn't respond like she usually would. So tightly embraced something. It was a fluffy plant. Porcupine grass?
Anyway, I followed you two, and then I found this fluffy plant.
She must have noticed that I was looking at the plant. The tone of her voice suggested she was tired.
I thought, wouldn't it be pretty if we added this to the fireworks?
And that was how she strayed away from us? So she went to pluck that plant, but when she returned, we were gone? They keep, like... There's no, like... ending... Am I nuts? Did that not start with a quote and then not end with one? Whatever, okay.
I was just gonna play for a bit longer before heading home. I ain't kidding.
Her dirty clothes contradicted her words. You fool, you made us all worry.
See, sorry about that. So-san, I'm so glad we found you.
We were so worried. Please scold us again.
You masochists.
The stiff smile on her face was even more suspicious. Enough playing on the mountain. Let's head home. But there was no point in pushing her to tell us the truth. Oh my god. I picked So up so I could carry her on my back. I thought she would have a fit, but she didn't. Hello, Fuzzy. Her body was lighter than I thought it'd be. We began to head back the way we came. Luckily, we found So near the base of the mountain, so it wouldn't take long to get her down.
Meito.
What? She spoke to me from behind.
Ain't you gonna say anything? I was just trying to do my best for Shimon-san, but I ended up being a burden.
So you at least realize you made a mistake? I lifted her legs up again to reposition her. Her bangs tickled at the back of my neck.
I'm an idiot.
She giggled, but her demeanor was lacking the usual vigor she had.
It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to hide the porcupine grass at the base of the mountain, and I wanted to surprise you guys and Shimon-san. But I just made you all worried. I made you upset. I'm worthless.
I wanted to make her feel better. I searched for the right words. You're an idiot. You really do only think about what's right in front of you.
You know me so well.
But that's a good thing, too, so don't worry about it. That was the only thing I could say to her right now.
But
I'll handle the rest. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being reckless. I'll always be there to look for you in the end.
I think I went a little overboard this time.
You did. You need to think about what you've done.
Meito.
What?
Is it okay if I cry?
Do what you want.
If I cry now, everyone's gonna notice, though. That's kind of embarrassing.
Just cry into my back. No one will notice.
Not a bad idea, you stud.
But if you start hurling insults at me, forget it. He fell silent after that. I looked up at the sky as I carried So on my back. Eventually, I started to hear her sob. I could feel her tears as she pressed her face against me. I repositioned her again, making sure her head wouldn't get sore. Now that's all settled. We ended up successfully descending the mountain with So.
So-san!
Riri and Shimon were waiting for us back at Shimon's house.
Are you okay? Oh no, you're hurt! I'm fine. Anyway, I made you a meal. I'll get it for you in a moment. Oh, nothing beats your cooking.
You make it sound like you had a meal out there.
Well, I am Survivor, so after all, I was blessed with nature's bounty.
She had some nerve saying that, considering how emaciated she looked. Emaciated? Emaciated? Which one is it? I wanted to show everyone the marks on my back left by her tears. If I turned around, her pride would be shot. I couldn't do that after seeing her act completely normal again, though. Either way, I was glad. I gently slid open the sliding door to Shimon's room. Shimon was writing something. She seemed happy. Oh, yeah, Odin does this in the same room, then they go sit out here when Berserker's talking to her. And he's like, I don't know how I feel about killing people. And she hands him whatever she was writing, and she's like, you can write, right? You should just write, you know, whatever you want to do, and then you'll know. And he's like, okay. Okay. I signed to sew with my fingers. She was in the living room.
Fuck you!
She stuck up her middle finger. She's nuts. Well, we managed to find sew, but the day wasn't over yet. In fact, it was going to be unusually busy. I'm beat. That was how I felt, but I couldn't actually say that. Next up was the real show. I was keeping a lookout on Shimon at the moment, so she didn't see what Riri was cooking for dinner. It was going to be a veritable feast, apparently, but we couldn't have Shimon find out. Either way, I had to wait until So and the rest were finished. I looked into Shimon's room again. Still, though, what was she writing about so happily? I was kind of curious. Oh, that's right. Shimon apparently did stuff late at night. Could that be related to whatever she was writing? She seemed to be having such a good time. I don't know what emotion is this expression trying to convey. Bros, we are so back. Maid is a reading and doing the voice acting. Nature is healed. I will tell you that I've considered trying at least one game of Umineko after we finish Myth. I think that'd be fun. There's so many different characters. Hello, Dipster. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. And at times, she seemed to be at a loss. Just watching her expression change all the time was fun.
One day, a boy...
She spoke to herself in between hums. Was she writing lyrics? Or was it prose?
Misono, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the White Rose Cafe. Ate his mom...
Whatever she was writing seemed bizarre in any case. I was confused. What did she just say? Ate Mama? Why did that seem to jolt my memory? My body felt so cold. That phrase. It was like it was
the plot.
I was stunned. Shimon's voice was a little louder that time. It was like she wanted someone to hear her. Her tone was crystal clear, and it had an edge to it equivalent to a fine blade. I couldn't figure out why, but I was scared. I felt actual fear, because she was usually so carefree, so happy-go-lucky. I stepped back. I wanted to get away.
Stay there.
Was she telling me that? She was commanding someone to remain. Was that me? Why did she... know? The plot?
You'll be at ease soon. So...
I turned around, startled.
Everything's ready.
And So was there. I was so cold. It felt like my brain, my spine had frozen. So, right after she said that, So showed up. Like she had already known about that in advance. Known about that in advance? Did she know that So was going to show up?
What's wrong?
So questioned me. Nothing. It had to be a coincidence. Nothing else made sense. She might have said So and not So, too. It's just a strange coincidence. That had to be it.
What's Shimon-san doing?
Writing.
Huh? What?
I don't know.
Whatever. Shimon-san!
So went into Shimon's room.
Huh? So-san! Dinner's ready. Okay. It's gonna be a feast. Really? Yay!
The word contradiction. This wouldn't leave my mind. I felt so left behind.
What's with that dark look on your face, kid?
As the world seemed to go on without me, I'm not crazy, right, So?
How about you feast off our scraps then, you snooty snooter?
It would only make sense for you to say something about this. You must think there's something off here. Shimon.
Yes?
Didn't I tell you before that she was writing something so? Shimon, what were you doing?
Knitting.
Huh?
Shimon! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Small pops resounded in the living room. Kotomi and Hibiki were here before I realized it.
What?
Shimon looked at us, dumbfounded. It was like her mind hadn't processed what was happening just yet. It's your birthday, isn't it? That's why we're all here.
Oh, I see.
Did she forget that it was her birthday? Honestly, that sounds pretty likely, given how she is.
I did my absolute best today.
Riri presented her lavish dinner to us after that. 8 salads, 7 whole roasted pigs, and 5 cakes. Riri really didn't know how to hold back. Man, you made too much. Could we really eat all of that?
This is just right.
There were a number of people waiting out by the veranda. Finally, time for us to show up. Been waiting long enough. Man, oh man. Do we really have to do this? The group of them scratched their heads in embarrassment as they appeared. Aight, I'm here. Aight. The chief then showed up in a leisurely manner. He was smart, though. He knew he had to act natural around her to keep the next surprise a secret. It's Shimon-san's birthday, you know? Let's all have a great time. What? I forgot. I didn't know! Never mind, I take back what I said.
Oh, for real? Happy birthday, Shimon-chan.
The villagers all played along.
Thank you.
While they didn't do a good job of it, at least Shimon didn't seem to notice. Let's go, Meito. The chief whispered to me. All right. Blending in with the others, we proceeded around back, towards the mountain.
Meito!
It was So. She was holding a bunch of that porcupine grass. What's up? You gonna come with us?
Nah, I'm pooped.
I guess that was kind of a mean thing of me to even ask. I knew what she wanted us to do, though. Hand them over. I'll take care of them. She hesitated for a moment out of embarrassment, but then...
You better, Captain.
She handed them over and headed back to the house. We going? Yeah. We began to climb the mountain. Before long, we reached the summit. The surroundings were dark, but Shimon's house lit up like a beacon in the distance. Everything would be fine. The petals would reach her. I opened the sheet, convinced of that. This is the culmination of everyone's thoughts and efforts. Don't waste it. I know. I split up So's porcupine grass and mixed it in with the rest of the petals. Everything seemed to shine in the moonlight. It didn't seem natural. That was just what it looked like, though. But I was still at the point where I could actually affirm such misconceptions. Oh my god. And that made me happy. Let's do it. The porcupine grass was all nice and mixed in. There was a little too much, so I figured I'd give the rest to Shimon later. Yeah, let's do it. We faced the veranda. We grabbed piles of the petals and then threw them off the mountain. Petals scattered? The petals scattered through the air. It was a crude realization of fireworks, but the petals still looked beautiful as they gracefully fluttered through the air. It's like the 4th of July. Well, not really. The village chief grinned. I could tell he was satisfied. It's pretty, though. Of course it is, you bumbling Billy. A bunch of people gathered by the veranda before long. Shimon must have been there, too. The chief and I watched the fireworks for a bit. We just sat there, not saying a word, waiting for the final petal to land on the ground as we gazed at the spectators on the veranda.
Meito-san.
Shimon called for me the moment we descended from the mountain. Did you see it? It was amazing, right? We gathered all those petals with everyone.
It was.
She nodded. Her expression was of note, because it seemed to suggest she was both happy and upset. You're not happy?
No, I am.
Okay. That's good. That meant our hard work paid off.
You gathered all these over the course of 2 days. Is that how So-san got lost, too?
Yeah,
Is that why you rescued So-san?
that was another thing entirely.
I see.
She fell silent. I guess she was so happy she was close to being moved to tears. This guy. It didn't seem that way, though, when I saw the look on her face. It was awkward, so... Here. I handed her the excess porcupine grass.
What's this?
She looked at it, curious. A present from Sol. Well, in any case, happy birthday. I'd waited until now to tell her that. I tried my best to show her that I really meant it.
Thank you.
That was the biggest smile I'd seen on her face today. I was really happy. But then, it seemed kind of unfair that she only showed me that smile. But I supposed everyone else saw it too as we spoke. Riri, So... Kotomi, the chief... That's strange. I tried to sort things out in my head. Kotomi's... daughter? Hibiki? Who's...
Maid Tanabe-san,
I couldn't remember. It was bugging me.
allow me to say farewell.
I had to get my thoughts in order. Huh? That was all too sudden. She was serious, though. I could tell from the weak tone of her voice. What do you mean? Of course I'd be confused.
We'll meet again.
Huh?
I promise.
I was so confused.
I won't let the tears you shed go to waste.
She smiled. The look in her eyes suggested that she was prepared to die or something. It was like she'd reached enlightenment, attained some sort of philosophical breakthrough in thought, a total sense of release.
I'm gonna sleep now.
She stood up, then headed for the house. I was uneasy. I didn't know why, though. She turned around in a very natural way. Natural? No, even that seemed suspect. Perhaps...
Anyway, farewell.
She waved. Her figure seemed to blend in with the surroundings, bathed in the light beaming down from the moon and the twinkling stars. It was beautiful. Oh, are we skipping Asgard tonight? That was a fake yawn. That doesn't count. Don't you dare. Morning was the same as always. I headed for the living room, like always. Morning. Nothing was out of place. So had her head on the table, and I could hear the sounds of them making breakfast coming from the kitchen. It was all the same as always. Yaunt. I wonder what we'll have today. Riri's cooking's really good. It was something I'd looked forward to every day since I came here.
Breakfast is ready. Yeah, been waiting so long, darling. Darling, are you saying I'm a man? Don't sweat the small stuff, yo.
Let me help. Riri had 3 meals prepared for us on a tray she was holding. She placed them on the table. Huh? 3 meals?
What's wrong?
Aren't we missing someone? Wasn't it always 4 people we had here?
You mean that old man next to you?
There's no old man next to me, and that's creepy. Well, whatever. I guess I was just imagining things.
Thanks for the meal. Thanks for the meal, Seal.
Thanks for the meal. Something felt off. Didn't someone always say that before we did? Someone who was silly, an airhead. Oh my god! I thought that was someone breathing in the game. I got so scared. You cared. Thank you for the 300 bits.
Maya? Yeah?
He's hollering. You can't go in the closet. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
With a couple of screws loose. Shimon. Shimon? Shimon. What are you doing?
Allow me to say farewell.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
Where did Shimon go?
Shimon?
Literally who? Cut it out.
I'm gonna have the chief show me whatever that is today.
Guys.
That's nice.
Listen to me.
How about you join me, you sack of stupid, I mean Tanabe-kun?
Hello, girl. Listen to me!
How sweet of me to take you along. I'm the best. Feel the moe in your nut bladder.
Nut bladder? What is going on? Riri and So just kept on talking.
Sups with you,
Sups with you, Mato.
If you ain't gonna eat, then let me have it.
The side dishes were on the floor.
No reaction, huh? Must be his age.
Where the table once was, she picked up and ate.
So yummy. Other people's meals are like totes better.
Absolutely nothing. Huh? Eh? Eh? Oh, God. Porcupine grass. Crimson porcupine grass. And that thing. Oh no, Cronus. Crimson. And lying in the middle of that crimson mass was... She... Who? Who was that? With their eyes wide open. She was like a rag doll. Her brain, her heart, her bones, her pancreas, her kidneys. All of it was on display. It was like she was dead.
Ah!
I screamed.
Ah! Ah!
And screamed. Why? What happened? This thing was Shimon yesterday, but now she was just crimson. Her hair was blotted red. All of her was nothing but red. Ah! What was going on? I didn't know. What was the scene in front of me?
Mato, let's get going to the chief's house, dude.
What is this? I pointed at that thing on the other side of the room. I pointed right at it. Right at Shimon.
Huh? What?
She was there. You can't see her? It's Shimon. Shimon's dead.
Huh? This is just a storage room. Ain't no one there.
Huh? What was she saying?
Huh?
Huh?
You can go nuts after we leave. Ah! I'm Hibiki.
Eh?
Maito-san.
Kotomi!
Yes?
Where's Hibiki? Hibiki? Hibiki! Hibiki, your daughter!
Hibiki.
My daughter? Did I have a daughter? Huh? I've always been alone. Huh? Huh? You were always together. Always together.
Hmm?
You don't remember her? Hibiki! She was the funny little girl who kept saying yep all the time. Do you remember? You're thinking of things from your world, Tanabe-san. She pointed at the book. What? I'm just curious. No good. Why? Fucking remember, got it? She's your daughter! Yes, I always have her do things for me when I go to the other world. I left Hibiki's house. Chief! Mato, what's wrong? Shimon's... Shimon? No. I sensed it, but I was just holding on to vain hopes. But now I understood the situation, one that made absolutely no logical sense. Shimon and Hibiki's disappearance, coupled with memory loss, that was what was happening at present. Hey, Chief. Have you ever lost your memories? As in, amnesia. I left the Chief's house after that. I went into the grasslands. It was sunset. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With beep. Even I'm beginning to forget. Stay calm. It was who brought me here. Shimon. Right, Shimon. Shimon. Good. I still remember. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of what she looked like just now. I vomited. Huh? Why am I vomiting? That's gross. Oh, right. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With... Right, Shimon. Shimon. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of what she looked like just now. I vomited. Huh? Why am I vomiting? That's gross. Oh, that's right. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With... Right, Shimon. Shimon. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of what she looked like just now. I vomited. Huh? Why am I vomiting? That's gross. Oh, that's right. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With... Right, Shimon. Shimon. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of what she looked like just now. I vomited. Huh? Why am I vomiting? That's gross. Oh, that's right. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With... Right, Shimon. Shimon. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of her now. I vomited. Huh? Why am I vomiting? That's gross. Oh, that's right. I went through here when I first arrived in this world. With... Right, Shimon. Shimon. And immediately I was assaulted with the image of what she looked like just now. I was finally able to recollect my thoughts after I threw up. Loss of memory, the disappearance of memory, I was no exception to this. As I looked at the bloody vomit on the ground, I thought to myself, just how many times did I throw up? I looked up at the sky. Nothing had changed. The sky was the same as always. The world was the same as always. Something was off. Something was wrong. Like... It made me think back to my world. It was just like my world. Everything about the situation was exactly like it. No one would approach the truth. No one would even take notice of said truth. In this world, and my own, was that actually what was happening? I didn't know. But one thing was different. This world where these shadows live, feels warm to me. Something's different about it, I can say that much. Their civilization is definitely lagging compared to my world, and they aren't particularly intelligent. Everyone kind of has a screw loose in their heads. But the people who live here all have something that my world lacks. Something very precious, but I can't put my finger on what. It's here, though. Something I've always desired, something I always wanted. Even now that holds true. They all have that special something. There's one problem, though. The loss of our memories. The reality was, and we're being forgotten. For? After a moment, I remembered. I didn't have anything left in my stomach to vomit. Damn it. I keep forgetting. Why? Shimon and Hibiki. Damn it. God damn it. I took out my anger on the weeds by trampling them. Damn it. Damn it. I liked them so much. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. They were my friends. Damn it. Damn it. But now no one can remember them. Damn it. I just kept stomping on the weeds. Do people really forget things so easily? People they cherish? Things they hold dear? If that was the case, fuck! And it was like our very existence was meaningless. Also, hello, Erasterism. This is just endless oi. Yeah, with puke. Night approached. Oh my god, please. Sorry, Mama Ko's here. Don't scare me. I didn't want to do a thing. I wanted to forget everything. I want to forget everything. I mean, I don't think she would care about that. It's also very small on my screen. Oh yeah, Finch. Oh yeah, Hobu. Well, hold on one sec. She's like building a bookcase outside the door. I don't know. Whatever. Ugh. The word meaningless captivated me. To live is meaningless. No one will remember you. Even people like Hibiki and Shimon will be forgotten. People will forget others once they're gone, no matter how important those people are to them. Once time passes by, they'll forget everything. Or glorify them, like notable figures in history, like beloved people from the past. In that case, right. It was simple. What I had to do was obvious. What I had to do while I was still alive. I just had to remember the people who taught me that were Shimon and Hibiki. That's why I persist. For sure. Alright. I stood up and ran back to Shimon's house, muttering to myself the names Shimon and Hibiki as I did so. I ran into my room and took out my notebook from my backpack. I wrote down Shimon and Hibiki. Okay. Now I could remember them. Next is, I jotted some more stuff down. Hibiki first. And Shimon. I wrote down everything I could remember about them as explicitly as possible. That was good enough. I closed my notebook and wrote, "Look at this every day," on the cover with a marker. Even if I forgot, I'd still likely look at the notebook. I'd just remember again after that. I just had to not forget. That was the least I could do. Hibiki, Shimon. I muttered their names again. I'll never forget you two. I made that vow to myself. We haven't been to Asgard. I'm so sad.
Nato, do you remember?
So suddenly said that to me. Huh?
What's with that tone?
Did So remember?
Don't you remember? The bike.
Oh yeah, she asked him if he knew what a bicycle was, and he was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, Shimon told me they can fly. Do you want to be my bicycle? And he was like, I really don't, if I remember right. But I soon realized that she was just talking about something completely stupid. She wouldn't have been this calm otherwise. Shimon's corpse was still in that room. Oh my god. He was still in that room after all. Oh, right. Oh, he said he was going to build her a bike, and then he said, no, I'm busy. I did say I was going to build you a bike. I tried my best to act natural. I couldn't outright reject them either. They were still living after all. It was just that they were missing a portion of their memories.
We couldn't do it because that birthday party. Anyway, let's build it today.
Do you remember whose birthday party that was?
I had a lot of ideas in mind, but I want to ask Riri-san first before we start.
No good. Ask Riri. Why? I played along. I recalled what Shimon said before. The plot. I couldn't comprehend what she meant. It seemed like the only hint I had, though. Followed the text. It was like Shimon was describing this very situation.
Riri-san knows everything. She'll probably know about bikes.
I get it. It seemed like the wisest course of action.
If that ain't gonna work, we'll just go to your world and grab one.
I'd have to follow the plot in order to make a breakthrough.
What? Why not?
So suddenly spoke up. I missed my line. I was too lost in thought. I had to catch up. I think I refused to take her to my world. Try going to my world looking like that. You'll be arrested on the spot. I just made up a random reason.
But, son, went back and forth all the time.
It looked like I was right. Fill in the blanks.
Got it? I think we'll be fine.
I must have said, ugh. No.
Why not?
My world's dangerous. That was actually true. If she went to my world, she'd be treated as a suspicious person. She'd either be arrested or sent to a research lab if she was lucky. Not that we were gonna go, anyway.
Alright, we'll worry about it later.
Apparently I told her to try talking to Riri first. Where is she? This was tiring.
She must be in the living room.
Alright, let's go.
and just decided to act instead of talk. Riri-san and I are such good friends. We're like two peas in a pod.
I should really just tune her out.
Riri-san!
Riri was in the living room. She knitted sitting down. Ever since we met, she was always knitting whenever she had a chance. For what reason? Who was she knitting for?
Oh, So-san and Meito-san. What's going on?
She stopped knitting and faced us.
There's something we gotta ask you. Yeah.
I don't know what noise that is. What?
Oh my, what is it?
Do you know how to build a bicycle?
We want to build a bike. A bicycle? What about it?
Fine, I'll just stay quiet. Huh? I suddenly heard a strange noise. What happened? What was that noise? I couldn't figure it out. It was all just too sudden. My eyes hurt. My vision was red. Red? Liquid? I was wet. Red liquid was all over my body. What is this? I rubbed my eyes for a bit. Finally, my vision cleared up. Before me was... So, or something resembling her. Her head was on the floor. Now you're practically... I can't say that anymore. Like, less than a foot. Why do you keep smiling? Quit looking at me like that. What are you tilting your head for? You're probably looking diagonal at Riri and me. So's head... the head... rolled. You see us backwards now. Isn't that weird? Like, for a human.
Ah!
It took me a few moments to figure out what was going on.
Ah!
Why? 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 For what reason? Why did So explode? That can't be. That's impossible. 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 I don't understand. What's the possibility of a human suddenly exploding? I tried referencing one of my textbooks. The possibility was 0%. It didn't matter if it was a possibility at all, actually. It was just impossible. That's why I didn't understand why that happened. What was doing there on the floor? Who?
What's wrong, Meito-san?
Nothing, I was just bored.
Really? Well, feel free to relax here.
You're still knitting?
Yes, it'll be done soon.
Oh, really? It looked like it was for a guy. I guess she was knitting something for someone else. Why not tell me who it's for?
It's still a secret.
Could it be this? I gave her a thumbs up, which in my world was sort of a dated roundabout way of asking whether she had a boyfriend. I didn't think she'd figure out what I meant.
Who knows?
But she did. You really do know everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty wise.
Don't say that about yourself. Anyway, you know what a bike is, right?
A bike? Yeah, I do. But why?
Well, So wanted to... So... No! What happened? What's going on? So? I remembered. I remembered everything. Everything. So I ran. I didn't want to forget. I held back my urge to vomit. I tried my best to steady my trembling hands as I wrote in my notebook. I finally managed to calm my nerves. Stay calm. I had to assess the situation. But the smell of So was hanging too heavily in the air. It smelled like So. I had never smelled anything like it before, but it was definitely So's scent. So's scent. It smelled metallic. Oh wait, I wanted to see... So he updated the notebook. And I want to see if the notebook we can see is different now. Yes! Look at this Oh, that's so sick! Oh god. About Hibiki. Hibiki is a shadow girl who lives in the world of shadows, who looks to be somewhere from 8 to 12 years old. She loves her mother so much that they spend most of their time together. Shimon, I'll write more about her later, is good friends with her. Shimon is the girl who brought me to the shadow world. She's sort of a ditz and a klutz. Despite living in the shadow world, she has both a shadow and a body. The chief of the shadow village took her in and raised her when she was young. She has no memories of her parents. So is a girl I found in the grasslands in the world of shadows. She's selfish, crass, and a complete moron. But when she found out about the dirty book I had, she just laughed about it. She's good at heart, I think. Okay, they're still there at least. Interesting. The girl smell. I went into the hallway and threw up. I needed to take a bath. I calmed down in the bath, or I thought I did at least. The hell is going on? I couldn't understand. It made no sense. I tried to make sense of it, but Shimon suddenly died, and Hibiki vanished. Her corpse hasn't been found, and so suddenly exploded. That was all. I truly had no idea what any of that meant. That this all made the least sense, made the most sense. Alright. What should I do? What was I supposed to do? I have no idea. I wanted to cry, but I realized something. Hello, Thunder. It was strange. Why didn't I feel that way sooner? Because it all happened too suddenly? Because everyone I cared for died so suddenly? All I could do was feebly cry. Even if it was a waste of time, that was all I could do. Sorry. I'm so sorry. All I could do were pointless things like crying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just kept apologizing. I'd be able to keep going after I cried a bit more. I had to keep remembering everyone. I'd do my best to do just that. But even that, such a simple thing, seemed meaningless. I wanted to deny that fact, but I was likely wrong. Everyone was already gone. Everyone I cared about so much. Cared about? By some sort of possibility. Was I included in that possibility myself? The answer was likely yes. I must have been. My guess was only based on circumstantial evidence, but there's no discrimination at hand with what was happening. It was simply impossible to understand. I was scared. I was scared of dying. I was scared of disappearing. Because death meant the end. Game over. The final stop for one's consciousness. The end. That was terrifying. So I was scared. There were no contradictions with my thought process. Contradiction. I was scared. Contradiction. But I still wanted to deny that fact. Contradiction. Why? The situation wouldn't change no matter how I reacted, whether I got emotional or looked at things with some degree of rationality. Corpses. Contradiction. Differences from before. Contradiction. So cold. Truth, escape, the past. Bonds, love, parents and children. Composition, the stage, the actors. Death, life, God, God. Existence, humanity. Theater, backstage, stage wing. Unravel. Unravel. Crossing. Mystery. Papa. Mama. Girl. Smile. Disappear. 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 This chair is an eyesore. Truth? I gasped. I was being naive. Oh yeah, I think at the very beginning he says he doesn't really have parents either. I forget if he's an orphan or not. But I shouldn't have been. And that was why. Yeah. Aha. Ha ha ha. I went mad. For now, I'd scream. For as long as I could, until I was satisfied, even if my throat was torn to shreds. Even if time continued to pass by with no purpose. No purpose. Nothing. In the tatami room, the boy's voice rang. The broken melody groaned. His cry was nearly a scornful laugh. On and on. The shrill shriek knew no end. Yeah? Day 13. It was getting late. I was tired, but it's not like I had anything else to do. I guess I'd get up a bit later than usual tomorrow.
Good morning. Morning.
Yo. I greeted everyone, then sat down.
Here's breakfast.
Breakfast? I wanted to burst out laughing.
I've been waiting for this.
So howled. It was like she wanted to stuff her face with food. I held back my laughter. Are you really gonna eat like that? Gonna stuff your face with food? I couldn't hold back my laughter, though. It was too funny. Bodily jokes like that, I mean. It was absolute nonsense.
Meito-san, that's funny. Hey, that's not funny. Just watch.
It seemed like I made her angry. I'm sorry. She was serious. She was determined to show me otherwise. I was interested, though. I wanted to see how she'd eat. Although I felt like the way she ate was always pretty fascinating. So, how do you plan on eating that? Please, show me. Show me the new profound way of eating you've discovered.
Just watch.
She took something out from under the table. It was her head. She placed what she took out into her mouth.
Yeah, it's delish.
This is insane. The hell are you doing? This is some unsolved mysteries shit.
Warp factor 5.
After chewing on it, she gulped down what she picked up and it proceeded to fall back onto the floor. Where's your esophagus? It just fell right onto the floor. The chewed up food seeped into the floor. Shut the fuck up. I kicked Shimon's head.
Yeah, it hurts.
I stopped kicking her after that. Isn't that hysterical though?
Yes.
Don't you want to end up like so?
I really do.
You don't deserve it. I started to kick her again. Kick. I think your head's about to snap off. Kick.
Keep going, don't stop.
So encouraged me. Kick. Your head needs to go. Her head was surprisingly solid. My toes were beginning to get sore. I kept on kicking her head though, all because I wanted to.
Whoa, is her neck gonna snap? Is it gonna?
Fuck off. He shoots. He scores. So's out of the house. Dunk. Right into the pond. What the hell's wrong with you? I couldn't kick Shimon's head off. I did manage to make it sit at a 90-degree angle though. Oh well. Man, that hurts. My right foot was in pain. I'd kicked her head a little too much. I regretted that a little bit. But...
Hello?
Hibiki showed up. Hey Hibiki, where are you? I can't see you. Where the hell are you?
Right here, yep.
Oh, there. She must have been right in front of me, on the gravel road or thereabouts. When'd you get to be so stealthy? I want to be all stealthy like that.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Teach me how to do it. I want to know how to do that too. I want to hide from everyone, do whatever I want to them. That's strange. You want me to
teach you?
Yes, I really, really want you to teach me, like right now. Hibiki began to think for a moment.
You want me to teach you no matter what?
Yeah, please.
What should I do?
I could understand why she was hesitant. She couldn't just teach anyone how to hide like that. I won't force you if you don't want to teach me. I'm so kind. I'm so great. I would have forced her earlier. That's strange, isn't it? Because I'll fucking kick your ass if you don't. Not that. I'm different.
What should I do?
She said the exact same thing as before. Isn't that strange? Too strange. That ain't it. I'm a pro jokester.
It's a secret to everybody. Can you keep a promise?
Yes.
Will you pinky swear?
Yeah. I pinky swore with nothing.
Then I'll teach you. I'm only gonna do this once, so pay attention.
All right. I looked around. I had no idea where she was. I kept watching, but I had no idea how she did that. Yeah, I don't get it. Do it again. Wait, you're already gone? Show me your jokes. I lay around on the veranda after dinner.
So comfy. So comfy.
So? I said fuck off. He shoots. He scores right in the pond. The rest repeats. Oh my fucking god. Oh, we're finally back in Asgard. Hold on, I'm gonna get some more tea. But I'm gonna make sure it doesn't flicker and I don't miss anything first. I got told this was a Dempa game and I was like, really? And now I see it. This game's apeshit. Oh my god! Alright. Good morning. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna refill my mug and I'll be right back. Good morning.
Morning.
From a distance.
Good morning.
Didn't matter where the fuck we were. Shimon, where's breakfast?
One moment.
Piece of shit. I kicked her head. Her head went from a 90-degree angle to a 95-degree angle. Hello, Rusty. How's it going?
What's wrong, Meito-san?
How'd you make breakfast? How the hell could you make breakfast here? Something's fishy.
Oh, like this.
She took out our side dishes from inside her body. Ah, I get it. That'll mean everything's warm, too.
But stuff keeps sticking to our sides.
What does?
Hello,
Rudy.
Her entrails. So-san, be quiet.
Her face was beet red. She was so cute. Shimon. Based on her logic, she probably meant that the side dishes she kept in her sides, not a pun, were embarrassing to show us because her entrails were clinging to them. She's so damn cute. Literally cooked rare. It really was. It was a bloody mess. I still ate it, though.
How is it? How is it? Is it, Echo?
It's good.
Huh?
It's good. It's really good. I shouted at the heavens. It's good. It's really good. I repeated myself. Man, there's no beating real meat.
Meito-san.
Shimon seemed so happy. I guess it wasn't really like me to praise people like that. Yeah, it really wasn't. At least back when I was in my old world. Fuck you. What is wrong with him? Her head was now at a 100-degree angle. She made it to 3 digits. That ain't right. Well, whatever. It's funny. Let's all play together.
What do you want to do?
Let's play catch. I took the ball in hand. Here we go, and threw it at Shimon.
How?
She managed to catch it.
So-san!
Next up was So.
Whoa, this ball's pretty dang heavy.
And then Hibiki. You're still hiding?
Ow!
The ball was So's head.
A head of lettuce.
So was getting ahead of herself. Maybe she could give me head. Okay, enough the head jokes. I'm sick of them now. So no head? Time for bed. Good night. I said good night, but not to anyone in particular. I could feel Shimon. Or rather, I felt her insides.
You got me.
The heck are you doing? This is my room.
No, this is Hibiki-chan's house.
I looked around. She was right. Alright then.
Yes, it's alright.
A bunch of stuff's gonna get all over me if I sleep with her. Whatever. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Teach me how to hide! It was a lively night. Hey, what's going on? Hey, quick question. What the fuck's going on in this game? This is the world he came from. Good morning. Morning. Was the same as always. I was so sick of thinking.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning. Was the same as always. The same morning. A fun morning. But everyone else's bodies were different from mine. Thinking was such a hassle. It seemed I liked it there.
Meito-san.
She was serious.
Meito.
Stop it.
Meito-san.
Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I think I knew what they were about to say. What they were about to force me to realize. What was happening in reality. Of course.
I don't want to be like this forever. Same. I need my head back. I want my body.
Don't say that. I can't help you. It was fun. You were all so much fun. And then you all suddenly up and eyed. I had no idea what was going on. I wrote things in my notebooks. Oh shit, I forgot to check the notebook. Ah, okay. It hasn't changed. Jesus. So I wouldn't forget. Hello? Hello, Homer. How's it going? But maybe I should just forget. It hurts. Reality always hurts. So much. But this is the real world, and you're all Ed.
Meito-san.
Hibiki disappeared. Where's So and Hibiki?
They left.
Where? I guess asking was pointless.
I'm leaving soon as well.
Shimon began to walk away. Wait! Don't go. Don't leave me. Please save me. What should I do? Where should I go? That voice. Why is this happening to me? I didn't know. I racked my brain about it. I really had no idea. Nothing made sense. Wait for me. Absolute white. Nothingness. It was as though I was overlooking everything that had happened until now. I heard noises and saw grainy images, like they were being produced by a broken projector. Those images were nostalgic. I will stretch. Thank you, Wishy. How's it going? Love lowercase typing. He's just like me, for real, for real. This is Kino? It is. I agree. Those images were nostalgic. They were my memories. But to say that my life was flashing before my eyes would be ridiculous. The reason for that was because they were only memories I'd made in this world. There was no memories before my meeting with Shimon. None at all. I felt worthless. I had to remember what my world was like, what those unchanging days were like. Right? The life I'd lived before. Right? That might unravel all these mysteries. If I could just remember. I was so dumb, though. How could I have forgotten? Right? Like hell I'd forget, right? Come on, remember. Just remember. The tatami mat was wet with drool, frayed and torn from him clawing at it. The state of the tatami was what made him realize how ill thought out this reality was. Why? Why?
Shadowless.
He needed to wake up. He was an exception, after all. A precious, rare exception found in that world bound by so many rules. Remember, remember.
I'll make you remember. If you want me to.
Come on, already.
You better not regret it.
I placed a sweater on his back, along with my ray of hope. What? Wait. Wait. That's when he first sees her. In his world. Huh? There was a difference. Pink hair blowing in the man-made wind. That in itself was enough to catch one's attention, but she had a shadow to call her own. A black existence trailing behind her feet. It startled me more than I'd expected. It was an oddity to me. She stood before a road that went both left and right. She wandered for a moment before heading down the left side of the road. I pursued her. There wasn't anything in particular I wanted to ask her. It was none of my business if she had a shadow or not. But I followed her anyway, heading in the opposite direction from the one I usually went. Watch, we have to play the whole game again. The scene before me was unusual. I went to the left this time, the opposite way I usually went, and that road was... road? Couldn't be called a road. It was nothing. It was absolute nothingness. All that lay before me was black.
What are you doing?
And that was where I found her. Same goes for you. She just stood there. She was dressed in black in that black space, with a black shadow at her feet.
You're not supposed to be able to come here.
Huh?
How did you manage to come here?
I just walked with my own 2 feet?
That's impossible.
Why?
Because those feet of yours are merely fiction.
What?
That's why this doesn't make sense.
Explain.
Your very being's merely fiction.
No one had ever been that rude to me upon first meeting them. You're saying I'm fake?
Yes.
But I'm moving around on my own. I'm breathing, too. How can something that's merely fiction do that?
It's impossible.
Exactly, so quit it with the crazy talk.
Without a script.
Huh?
It's possible with a script. All you have to do is give your characters defining traits. Personality, age, gender, quirks, types of behavior. That's how this world goes round. Myth. A world like you'd find in a book.
Inside a book?
Yes.
Are you right in the head?
Why do you ask me that?
Because you're saying I'm fictional.
It's the truth.
And you still insist that's the case. Explain how I managed to come here then. Isn't that an inconsistency? I couldn't move on my own if I were just some sort of creation.
I don't know. You don't have a shadow either.
That goes for everyone, though. I swept I swept my gaze across the city as I said that to her. No one there had a shadow. All of them had a glassy look in their eyes, gazes cast far into the distance.
Special people are different. People like me.
She slowly spun around. Her long shadow followed at her feet.
Humanity lost their
shadows, is what I've heard.
I see. That's kind of haphazard. I don't blame you for not being suspicious of that, though.
It really pissed me off hearing her speak like that. It was like she had some kind of far-sighted philosophical insight that I lacked. I can't deny what you're saying.
Of course you can't, because it's the truth.
can't deny what you're saying, but that's all. I'm not convinced it's real. How would you ever expect me to believe something like that?
How else can you explain that darkness?
It's...
You can't be the third person?
Third person? What?
Just follow me.
Where are we going?
Allow me to show you some proof.
She headed back the way we came, to where form actually existed.
7:35 a.m. at present.
She looked up at the sky. It's way past 8 a.m. I was already late when I decided to follow her. There's no doubt about the time. I looked at my watch. 7:35 a.m. How?
We jumped back a few sentences. It's not that startling. Look at that person.
That middle-aged man. I always saw him when we passed by each other at the same time every day.
Where do you think he's going?
I don't know, probably work or something.
You're wrong.
And where's he going?
Watch.
I intently watched the middle-aged man. He continued to walk, not paying any heed to us. He walked towards the blackness. Nothingness consumed him, and he, too, just became blackness before long.
His very being is defined as a businessman working for some company. In reality, his role is finished once he enters that darkness. That is, until he reappears at 7:35 a.m. the next day. Same applies to the housewives chatting over there, and that student, and they're all the same.
I don't believe it.
Then,
she looked at me for a moment before asking me the following.
You're a student, right?
Yeah.
Where's your school?
Over there. She began to walk towards my school. I followed behind her.
This is your school? There's nothing here. Nothing at all. Do you believe me now?
I had no choice. Reality had been thrust before me. But why am I able to notice this truth? She said she wasn't sure either.
It's probably because...
You're a what? You're an Einer jar? Do I have to Google this? What the fuck is an Einer jar? That was the only possibility she had in mind. I had never heard that word before. Einer jar?
People who exist in books.
I don't really get it, but I'm the same as you?
We're similar, but not the same. We're from Asgard. We exist on a plane above Einherjar.
Asgard?
It's a world where the authors of stories reside.
That's the easiest way to explain it, at least. Oh, shit. She told me to follow her. And I did just that, but I felt uneasy.
You really haven't heard anything from Odin?
Odin?
An author. Let me rephrase that. Have you ever heard someone speak to your unconscious?
Of course not. Brother! This was all stuff I was just hearing for the first time. I had never even heard of Odin until a few moments ago.
I see.
She wore a glum expression on her face as she hung her head. After falling silent for a few moments, she asked me another question.
Are you missing your memories?
Memories? I don't really follow. I remember me living here.
Those are fake.
Fake?
False memories. You're but a character, but even you would be confused if you lacked memories. That's why you've had false memories implanted into your mind.
So all of my memories are fake?
What do you remember?
I was abandoned by my parents and lived in an institution. I lived on my own once I started going to high school. The rest has just been a blur of repetition.
Do you have any memories that stand out? For instance, your end-of-year exams?
Huh? What are those? She sighed. Are my memories really fake?
Let's put them up to the test. Try remembering the name of your friends, or what someone from that institution looked like.
Nothing came to mind. Nothing at all. No one stood out.
Odin's careless like that. Well, I guess there's no point in a supporting role fretting over the details of their memories. What's this game's name? It's called Myth. Oh, that's right. The description, or the title isn't in the thing because there's no listing for Myth, or at least there wasn't when I last played it. But it is called Myth. It's a visual novel that was localized by Manga Gamer. Hello, Cat. How's it going?
Don't call me a supporting role. She really was rude.
But why would Odin...
Don't ask me that. I answered bluntly. I couldn't deny my own memories because they truly felt real to me. Perhaps that Odin person manipulated them.
No, whatever. I have to fill my role as
as a Valkyrie since you're here. Oh my god. She called herself a Valkyrie. She proceeded to walk past the chatting wives and sat on the guardrail.
Now listen up. Everything I'm about to tell you is the truth, so accept it as such.
I should be able to do that. I would have already been freaking out if I couldn't.
You live in a world separate from that of myth, separate from that of the authors of myth who reside in Asgard. You should possess a shadow as proof of that, but you don't.
Yeah, you're right. I kept looking at the ground, but I had no shadow at my feet. I'd always wanted one.
There are Einherjar from a world without shadows, but usually shadows are provided to them when they're transported to myth.
Voice was so low, it was like she was whispering to herself.
If an Einherjar lacks both a body and a shadow, then they lose sight of themselves, kind of like you.
Why do they need both?
It would contradict their existence. Existence requires two sides, light and dark, body and shadow. If one's missing, then that existence will lose its very meaning.
Okay.
All the people here are just characters. They're pure fiction. They can't act unless the author pens it in the script. You lack a shadow, but you aren't fiction, at least on the surface.
How can you prove that?
You talking with me right now proves it. Even if that's impossible, fictional characters die if they learn of the truth.
Wait, they die?
Of course. This world is just like a book.
Do you really think the character who strays from the pages will continue to have an active role in the story? So, since I was able to stray from the pages without issue, it means that I've had my own will this whole time?
It must. Likewise, it proves that you're an Einherjar.
Wait, I have no memory of that, though.
It's likely because you don't possess a shadow like normal Einherjar do. Memories and will are different things. You're missing your memories, but you still have a will that connects you to your past.
She added that it was likely present at a subconscious level, though. So, why don't I have a shadow?
It's probably Odin's work. My role is to guide Einherjar, but it's Odin's job to choose Einherjar and preserve their memories. So allow me to apologize for that. I'll give Odin a piece of my mind once I head back to Asgard. How could Odin have done something like this?
Girl grumbled.
I'll just save my complaints for later.
Einherjar, Desu? Oh, okay. That's fine. I wasn't expecting her to be this much of a stickler, considering her appearance.
Einherjar possess their own self even before being placed in myth. Therefore, it's possible for them to act of their own accord even inside. As I said in the beginning, Einherjar are neither residents of this world or Asgard. They're perfectly pure humans who have been transported to this space.
Transported to this space?
Have you never heard of parallel worlds before?
Oh my god.
The heck's that? Every action demands a choice, to decide on where to go, to decide on what to do. And while you might have made a particular choice in this world, worlds exist for the various choices you didn't make.
How would I ever know that?
It doesn't matter if you don't, we do.
How?
With the support of science beyond fixed standards.
That isn't an answer.
It'll take a while to get into the details. I'll explain another time. These parallel worlds split apart to an infinitesimal degree, producing a multitude of solitary worlds as a result. A world with a country where a war didn't occur, or you can go back even further, a world where Neanderthals didn't die out. One of those various worlds is the world you came from. I have no idea which one that is, though, because you've no memory of actually being taken away from there.
This is crazy. Why would you take people from these parallel worlds and bring them here? There was no point in arguing with her.
To prepare for Ragnarok.
Ragnarok?
It means you were chosen by a world that coexists with shadows in order to prepare for Ragnarok.
I couldn't figure out what she meant. It was beyond understanding. Wait, coexist with shadows to prepare for Ragnarok? What's that mean?
All of those parallel worlds will come to an end, and the reason for that end is always the same. They rejected the existence of shadows. They devoted themselves to some sort of being of power and denied the existence of something absolute. That's my theory, at least.
What the fuck is going on?
It's no different from here. Well, putting aside the fact that the two sides aren't quarreling.
Then what's this myth?
A display. In a word, a display directed at the many worlds without shadows.
All this was tough to follow. Yeah, no shit. Oh. What she was saying was absolutely absurd, but I decided to ask her another question. Then does this world possess shadows? I've never seen them before, and I only know of them because of what I learned in school.
Of course, we're gonna go there now, to the world of shadows.
What?
It's easier to just show it to you rather than explain. Follow me. I'm keeping two other Einherjar waiting.
There are others?
Yes.
That's what she meant by saying I was the third person.
Follow me.
I had no reason not to follow her after making it this far, so I did. We went back the way we came. Who are they? There were two girls there. Both were wearing similar clothing. I'd never seen clothes like that before. They had nothing in common with the school uniform I wore and the black sundress the girl was wearing. They must have been from another world.
They're Einherjar. He's the third?
The older one said that bluntly.
I wasn't expecting a third, but yes. Doesn't look very reliable. Excuse her. Ruri has something of a foul mouth. Please forgive her.
The girl made me come back to my senses. That first girl was incredibly unpleasant. The way she presented herself wasn't particularly nice either. She looked down on me and had a haughty air to her.
Where are you from?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't remember where you came from?
It makes sense. He doesn't have a shadow.
Shimon-san, why does he lack a shadow? I don't know. I have to ask Odin.
Looks like someone isn't playing by the rules.
Whatever. Listen up, Shadowless.
Me? What?
Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
How could you expect me to?
Valkyrie, how much does he know? I spoke to him about the objective of myth.
Got it. So he probably doesn't understand what you told him. The way she spoke was extremely irritating. I didn't think I'd like her. You scared? Shadow... Oh my god. So they're all, like... playing the roles in the main story, right? And that includes, like, Ruri being a nice girl, and so being a carefree brat with an accent. Not really, surprisingly. Would you typically be scared in this situation? It was reasonable for her to ask me that. Maybe I was just strange for not being scared.
You just haven't experienced anything yet. True terror approaches.
You make it sound like this isn't your first time doing this. I could only assume based on what that girl named Shimon said, but it was unlikely... When did he... How does he know who Shimon is? It was unlikely that they'd experienced anything like this before. That was why she said there were 3 of us.
I don't know where you're from, but my world is known for being resistant to fear.
What? Some sort of war going on there or something?
Something like that.
Huh. I didn't really care, so I didn't press her about it. So what's so scary? Valkyrie or whoever said we're supposed to coexist with the shadows or something?
Simpleton.
She really did piss me off.
You really think just pretending to be friendly with them will make things all better? You're naive.
What's that supposed to mean?
The majority of endings awaiting us are tragedies. To coexist with strange beings who possess only a shadow,
it's inevitable that doing so will only cause problems.
Precisely.
The girl spoke up.
I didn't tell you this because I figured it'd scare you, but...
And said,
your goal is to seek a good ending, that being coexistence with shadows. However, that's no easy task. You'll fail numerous times.
What happens if we fail?
Kaboom, probably. That's right. When you enter the world with your shadow, or with shadows, your memories will be replaced and you'll become a character in the script. Your goal is to recall the truth within a limited number of pages and coexist with shadows. You won't just fade away either. If you fail, you'll be obliterated.
Obliterated? Is that what Riri meant by kaboom? I didn't really get it. If someone remembers, can they tell the others?
Unfortunately, no. The truth must be reached on one's own. Your being is your own, after all.
The story will continue to loop until we succeed.
That's right.
So, us Einherjar have to regain our memories and work to coexist with the shadows? How long do we have to work with?
20 pages have been prepared. You have 1 day per page. So you have 20 days, half of which will need to be spent recalling your memories. If you exceed the time frame, you repeat, and then Odin will rewrite it.
So we have to guide these dumb future beings into coexisting with shadows. Sounds fun. She was all for it.
What if we don't remember?
The other girl was worried. Even if I wanted to understand this world, I wouldn't have time to inside of myth. How many times would I be able to remember myself? The answer was likely not very many. What sort of actions would I take? That must have been it, though. I wasn't afraid. The beating in my chest far eclipsed any fear I had. That was why I said this instead of hesitating. We have no choice.
Shoganai na.
There was no point in hesitating, after all. We had no choice but to act. To follow the rules. And that was something that I, in all likelihood, was always waiting for. Waiting for a change like this as I continued to repeat those days over and over. I wanted this.
Everyone seems to have made up their mind.
I was happy to hear her say that. My very self was the most intriguing and mysterious thing to me. Who was I? Why was I here? Why did I have no shadow? I would find the answer, no matter how uncertain such certainties were. I was determined to.
It's almost showtime.
Showtime. How will we know?
You just will. Odin controls the axis of time here. Intervals are indeterminate, but you'll still get a feel for the timing, because there will be noticeable changes. Right now I'm using my power as a Valkyrie to create a space within the confines of the script.
Oh, right. What'll happen to you? Will you appear in myth?
I will. I'm supposed to invite you to my house, and then I die around the 10th day.
Without exception?
That's right. It's just how Asgard works. There's nothing I, as a Valkyrie, can do about it.
Of course, I was curious about that. And you're okay with that? It meant that she had no hope, no good ending. She'd always die. I didn't know if her memories would be preserved within myth or disappear, but maybe she could be saved. Just thinking about her position as a hopeless piece was sad.
Yes.
She smiled. Her smile was all too simple. She was totally fine with that.
You should find the ending as soon as possible rather than worry about that.
Okay.
We'll meet again in the script.
Shadowless, don't get in my way.
Goodbye.
A complicated array of emotions swirled within my chest, and that was how my memories faded away. So, Nano, which game was it? That sounds interesting. Right. That's right! I have to keep going. I had things I had to do. The object on my back, it didn't belong in this world, yet it made me remember.
Have you awakened, Shadowless?
Those words were somehow nostalgic to me. Riri. That was an incredible performance. The fact that she knitted that sweater meant that she must have realized what was going on rather early.
It was simple to follow along.
What are you looking at? Nothing. Riri seemed strange to me as I grappled within my memories. To think that she was actually so haughty.
It's a good thing you remember.
You'd be a hunk of meat too if Shimon's death didn't tip you off. Right. You could say that it was thanks to Shimon that I was able to regain my memories. She provided me with a hint that night. Perhaps that was why I went insane. I won't let the tears you shed go to waste. She saved me. So, just you and I, it seems like Soa didn't make it.
Her real name is Kiki.
I see. So, you two are familiar with each other.
We grew up together. As such, we were close in some capacity.
We grew up together? How's that possible? I recalled what Soa had been like. She had seemed very young.
She reduced her age to suppress her power.
She's likely even older than you. What? What are you talking about? That's hard to believe.
Her power is equal to my own. Her latent power might surpass mine, though.
Power?
Power to govern the world. I won't explain. You'll understand with time.
She's a fool, though. If she hadn't suppressed her power, she could have regained her memories almost immediately. Why would she basically choose death? Why didn't you tell her?
Simpleton, the Valkyrie said that we can't share information with each other like that.
You can create an opportunity to help another person, like I did with you, if that person says the right thing, but in Kiki's case, that was impossible. Yeah, I can't imagine her catching on to what was happening, considering the way she behaved. You aren't familiar with her. If the Kiki I knew saw that, I don't know whether she'd die laughing or crying. My first impression of her, well, I don't think that's the right way to phrase it, but she seemed very mature and kind. Riri muttered to herself about how Odin was such a trickster. You'd never guess she had a dubious position like the Oracle. Guess anything could happen to anyone. Oracle? Don't worry about it. All I could say was, I see. All right, enough about Kiki. We'll find another way to save her once we return to the prologue. We need to make a breakthrough right now, though. All right, so what's happening? Do you remember Hibiki? She was a character. Yeah, I do. She was a shadow who had vanished from sight after Shimon's birthday. She likely knew the truth about what was happening here, or behind what was happening here, considering she disappeared from everyone's memories. Is that actually possible? She's just a character. Considering what Shimon said, no, it's not possible. Hibiki is different from us. She really is just a character. We're actors, and while we can return to our former selves, a mere prop shouldn't be able to. That's why her disappearance is so intriguing. Don't call her that. Don't call her a prop. I was good friends with her. Whatever. Listen, this world is a stage built for the purpose of having bodies coexist with shadows. The fact that it's a stage indicates that, outside of the actors, nothing else possesses a will of its own. The shadow people are just that, props. Face the facts, boy, they're not human. They're props. There's no reason to grow attached to them. I don't care. Hibiki is still Hibiki. I don't want to forget that. Are you serious? She only acted in accordance with what was penned in the script. Don't you dare forget that. Think of her like a billboard. She can display information in the form of her existence, and it's our duty to accept it as such. She's nothing more or less than that. All of this was pretty poorly thought out. These characters in this world all suck. But though there's no point in me criticizing it too much, that was only the first loop. Odin might just be feeling things out. There's no reason for you to be upset by such nonsense either. It hinders our ability to recover our memories if you take a liking to this stuff. We'll merely die in vain forever. Nonsense. That's right. Story's development this time around was suspect, but that'll likely improve from here on out. How can you be so sure? Myth will learn from us. Learn from us? Odin will improve by writing more and learning from us. She'll develop more realistic characters, write more intricate plots, and create more emotional situations. Myth will manipulate our emotions more readily and easily as it repeats. And that process of refinement will lead this story to its conclusion. That's my guess, at least. It's fine if you felt something for Hibiki, and if such emotions meant that much to you, then it's within your right to treasure them. However, I'll warn you, keep the playing with toys to a minimum. Interacting with her was unbelievably annoying at times. That's the end of my explanation. Are you prepared now? Accept reality. Numerous things still bothered me, but I had to cast that all aside. Wasn't this something I'd already agreed to in the beginning? I had to accept that. Those shadows were nothing but characters. Even Hibiki, Kotomi, the chief villagers. Even my old friends and teachers from my world were the same. No, it wasn't my world. It was just fiction. It was an endless space, one I repeated every day without fail and had no particular notable memories of. That wasn't the real world I was from. And that was precisely why I decided to act as an Einherjar. It was to find my own world, to find my own shadow. So, what should we do about Hibiki's disappearance? Those words were my very will. They propelled me forward. Nothing. Huh? We'll act normal. Why? I told you, this is a fictional world and our aim is to coexist. Nothing in the script will compel us to search for Hibiki. Well, unless Kotomi began searching for her. Right, Kotomi had already completely forgotten about her daughter. We aren't going to learn anything about Hibiki if we do that, though. That would only hold true if we were just characters. Listen, Shadowless, hasn't myth made you realize anything strange about yourself? Strange? Numerous scenes flashed in my head. I could think of a number of things. That's because your will has clashed with the author's portrayal of you. Quite annoying, really. She continued. The look on her face suggested she'd resigned herself to this explanation. Let me cite an example. Assume you're so full you can't eat another bite. But that clashes with the script, which demands that you, Meito Tanabe, eat the food that I, Riri, have cooked. So what happens? The food in your stomach doesn't digest. Instead, your stomach becomes completely empty. You then say that my food looks delicious as a result. So, what you're saying is that two versions of us exist at once, and our real selves with our own will and our real selves with our own will and our caricatures. Exactly. The script continues even after we've awoken as Einherjar. So, how does that relate to Hibiki? We're characters, and we're readers. As such, we can infer and ponder to ourselves regarding myth. Am I wrong? No, I suppose you could say that. It makes more sense for us to investigate the cause as we continue to play our part as characters in myth. She was right. You'll act as normal from tomorrow onward. Bear in mind that Shimon and So are no longer with us as we do that as well. The script should develop in a way that we, travelers from another world, will continue to deepen our relationship with the residents of the Shadow World. That makes no sense. That's what third-rate authors do. They force certain developments to occur within their stories. One thing in particular bothers me, though. What is it? Following Kiki's death, it's like the script stopped for 2 days. Like, time itself has stopped. I just kept on knitting that sweater during that time frame. And You fell into a panic. I could hear your stupidly loud laughter all the way in here. I don't really remember. Was I laughing? I'm concerned about Myth's viewpoint during those 2 days.
did the script depict during that time?
There's no way that it could have been.
You panicking? Of course not. I can't imagine there's any tangible link between that and the coexistence between shadows and people. Your own will compelled you to panic.
I'd like to believe that.
My awakening scene concluded with those questions still remaining.
Oh. Plot!
Jesus.
Hello, ketchup. Oh, it's one of those meta games. Yes. I once saw an educational movie where a character said the following. Think not of the length of the journey, but the steps you take to reach your destination. The elderly say, with fork in hand, travel step by step through this land. That only applies to fantasy worlds, though. In reality, if someone faced such a long journey, their reaction would be obvious. Most people would suffer and hesitate. They would think about what lay before them, such as what was beyond the horizon. Well, I guess that's why it's such a nice saying, though. I was in my room before I realized it. I didn't know why exactly. I imagined that there was some meaning behind that, though. Riri had disappeared. I just gotta... Alright. Or maybe I had disappeared? Either way, it didn't matter. It was like I was applying that movie to the current situation. Not that I had any memory of seeing a movie like that before. What exactly was that movie, anyway? All I know is that it existed. I could say this, though. I knew how it was going to end. I knew the entire plot. I was really in deep. Scene XX. Meito-kun falls deep into thought, dejected. Something like that, probably. Damn it. I am who I am. I couldn't just let some third-rate author do what they wanted with me. I was just unable to get used to it. I wanted to look at the night scenery to calm down. I left my room. And immediately there was a theatrical blackout. Damn it. I once saw an educational movie where a character said the following. Do the scene right, Meito. What is this, a retake? I muttered that to myself. So I really am the big shot actor. Probably, at least. Because I was rejecting how the plot was supposed to proceed. Odin must have viewed me as the lead role. Just who was this Odin? I thought about it. I thought I was thinking about it, because it fit with the scene. And so I thought about the oddities of this world. You idiot. Stupid Odin. It's not like you can read my mind. So allow me to think thoroughly at that, about just who this Odin is. I don't know. And what about this world? What should I do? Damn it, I'm back in actor mode. Ad-libbing's okay, it seems. Meito-kun's sigh causes his gloominess to increase by 10. Nice! A stellar performance. Fuck this. Show your fucking self. Blackout. Give me a break already. I kept on horsing around for a bit. As soon as I walked out of my room, I would disappear. Just how ethereal this world is. So single quotes are myth and double quotes are their will. I don't know. Maybe. That's what I thought initially, but I remember maybe suspecting that and then reading it as it went through the game, and it didn't seem quite right. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll find out. That might be it, though. I wasn't being nihilistic. That really felt like the truth. The world itself would disappear if I stepped out of my room. But I didn't exactly hate this world. The actions I was permitted to take weren't undesirable ones. I could act as I wanted. I just lacked freedom of action. Someone was limiting exactly what I could do. For example, let's try an experiment. I tried stabbing my wrist with a box cutter in my pencil box. Shit! It cut deep. It hurt so much. I hated it. But I needed to prove something to myself. Blackout. And once again I reappeared. I looked at my wrist and there was no wound. How could that be? It's impossible. Odin, are you a god? I realized that probably wasn't far off from the truth. I'm but a character in this myth. The night pressed on. It seemed to be passing by rather quickly. Perhaps that's what Odin wanted. I didn't mind in any case. I was sick of thinking anyway. There was only one answer. To play along. Brother! This game is nuts. Oh, there's a gnat in here. Oh, Jesus. Please, I keep missing it. Alright. Huh. So...
Good morning.
Riri greeted me like always. Yo.
Breakfast is ready.
We're having Chinese for once today?
We've had Japanese cuisine up until this point, as a result of the plot. You can't say that! Chinese isn't so bad once in a while, right?
I think I really love Chinese food. Not that I've ever eaten it before.
That's good.
It was like we were having two different conversations. It was awkward, but felt strangely natural as well. I asked Riri something as I poured soy sauce onto the dish she handed me. Hey, Riri.
Yes?
Is this part of the script?
Yes.
She replied with a bright smile on her face. The way she was able to do that was kind of frightening. I bet you couldn't cook if it weren't for the script.
Don't underestimate me. Even I can cook.
I wanted to retort with, that's only because of the plot, but I held back.
Here's your meal.
She handed me another plate, and I used my chopsticks to pick up the gyoza, which I then drenched in soy sauce. I put it in my mouth and... This is amazing! I shouted up at the ceiling.
I'm glad you like it.
It's like, this is my first time ever tasting food, and it's absolutely delicious. I gave her my impression as I ate the glass noodles. Well, it was actually true that it was the first time I had Chinese food. It was nostalgic, though, for some reason.
What should I do for dinner?
Oh, have you gone through this loop before? Is that why it's nostalgic? Let's have steak.
But that won't work in this world.
Who cares about that?
That means there'll be a scene where I capture a buffalo today.
She sighed. The plot likely dictated that she had to make whatever I wanted to eat. Give it your all, Riri. Buffalo are pretty strong these days, I think. How's the mything? It's nuts. This game is off its chains. How's it going, Memento? Don't forget to make a knife and fork, either. You're awful. That was how Riri's day would proceed. Oh my god! I lay about the veranda in the early afternoon after eating a mysterious meal from the ancient land of China. I was more full than usual. The fact that Riri always made too much was probably just a quirk of hers.
I made too much. I'm such a little klutz.
Or something. It wasn't really cute to me, though. It was just kind of annoying. I guess that was just something about her that only she or God would understand. The sunlight in this world was comforting. Being bathed in the gentle rays of the sun felt even more pleasant to me, given how long I'd lived in that other world. It really was so pleasant. I listened to the chirping of the birds. Were they the same as me, or were they mere props as well? Forget it. I shouldn't overthink things. I looked up at the sky. It was roughly noon. It'd be time for lunch soon. Of course, Riri would cook for me. I should have asked her to make steak for lunch, though. I hope she's working hard. Face off between her and a wild cow. Just thinking of that spectacle made me chuckle. I wonder where the cow would appear? It'd make the most sense if it appeared in the grasslands, but what if it was the village chief's room or somewhere like that? That'd be a huge mess. The wall scrolls the chief has would all be destroyed. What would the chief say after seeing his room torn to pieces? Oh my god! He'd probably cry. I enjoyed imagining things like that. It was like they were actually living inside my head. Are you Odin? Are you writing it? No. Things to think about. What the hell is wrong with this guy? He's going through a lot, Fuzzy. I wonder what the chief is up to? Probably nothing, because it wasn't his time to appear in the script. In the next script, I muttered to myself. It was by no means certain, but we could probably meet again soon. It was my duty to get used to them and be friendly after all. I hope we can speak again. It was strange. Back when I thought I was totally free to act of my own will, I never thought about how I wanted to speak with the chief. I guess that just means I liked the guy. Wait, seriously? I'm just gonna pray that has to do with the script. Anyway, time passed by as I thought about things like that. The scene didn't change, even though I felt like I had thought about the chief and my sentiments for this place long enough. The scene returned to the veranda. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Unless you trigger the intended event, you just have to keep redoing it. The scene returned to the veranda. I was just lying down like I was before. Am I missing something? If anything came to mind, it was... Rumble, rumble. No way. Rumble, rumble. That can't be possible. That has nothing to do with me. That's Riri's job. Rumble, rumble. My prayers were in vain, though, as I saw Riri appear.
Naito-san! I couldn't do it!
Huh? It's huge. That lasts us for years. No, we'd be set for meals for a decade, even. Wait, I don't have time to be thinking about stuff like that.
I think you can capture it.
Are you crazy? The buffalo chased after Riri as she ran my way while we chatted. Could I really catch that thing? How? I sincerely doubt I've ever caught one of these before. If only I were a big game hunter. Shit, out of the way, Riri. The buffalo approached with reckless fury. Bring it on! And I kicked it as hard as I could. The buffalo seemed to have taken some serious damage from my kick. The speed at which it was chasing Riri at probably played a factor in that too. The buffalo groaned. Ow! And so did I. Buffalo have hard heads. My foot wasn't even numb. It was literally throbbing in pain. The buffalo cowered for the time being, but I didn't think I delivered the finishing blow to it just yet. Riri, run, now! Right! Riri ran off into the house, and I turned to face the bovine again. I moved so that its gaze was directed at the pond. I had an idea. There was a certain term I'd heard once before. Mad dash. Merci, Odin. I blew a kiss up towards the sky. Come at me, bro! I provoked the bovine. And it soon began its dash after letting out a strange noise. I had no knowledge of wild cattle, but it didn't matter. It was clear as day that the thing was extremely pissed off. What's wrong? Don't be a baby! Like they say, buffalo, 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 buffalo. Oh yeah? Grrr. My bullying seemed surprisingly effective, even though I wasn't a buffalo. Cool! It rushed at me like it had gone crazy. Time stopped. Well, it seemed to slow down at least. I couldn't fail, or else I'd be finished. Undoubtedly at that, those sharp horns would pierce right through me, but I'd survive. And my chances of survival would be 100%. Otherwise it would be inconsistent with the script. That's why this wouldn't kill me, because this too was all part of the plot. Perhaps there was a route prepared for my death, though. Maybe I really could die? Was that actually true? What should I do? The buffalo was just 5 meters away, and it didn't matter what I did. The plot was already written. 3 meters, 2 meters, 1. I just had to move. Oh shit! Oh nit, oh god, I'm sorry.
Thanks for the meal.
Thanks for the meal. You're gonna cut out the best part? The tension and excitement racing through me remained as I looked at the now cooked bovine before me. I pressed my hands together and thanks. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub.
That buffalo was huge. We'll be having steak every night from now on.
I guess my wish was granted.
Dun, 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 dun.
So much food. I ate way too much. I wonder how much of the buffalo we managed to eat? Thinking about it made me feel like my insides were literally becoming cow. It didn't really feel good. I wanted to lead a life without buffaloes for a while.
Meito-san.
What's up, Riri?
Meito-san. Thank you for today.
Oh, she was talking about the buffalo. Don't worry about it. It was my fault she was being chased by it anyway.
But you risked your life to protect me.
Riri looked down, her face red. Oh ho ho, it seems Odin wants me to hook up with Riri. The scene with the buffalo seemed to be a trigger for our love to develop. That's crazy. How does catching a wild cow lead to love? That's too contrived. It's because I really care about you. I played along. I had no other choice.
Huh?
What a cliche. Oh wait, that was in double Eh? Oh? What a cliche way to react. Saying huh like that. She knew what I was about to say. She was such an actress. Oh my god, that's so cute. I knew, but pretended that I didn't notice.
Meito-san.
I like you.
I'm so happy.
At this rate, we gazed at one another. We were going to kiss, weren't we? That had to be it. What else will we do after confessing our affection for each other? This is nuts. Close your eyes. I followed along. Was this what I was supposed to be doing? It was likely a permissible action for us actors on the stage. But think for a moment. The way I'm thinking right now, just who am I? Meito Tanabe? I'm Meito Tanabe, but I'm not. Do I have the right to think? Right? What right? How stupid. No, by being here, I obviously didn't.
Hello, Tenchi. How's it going?
Thanks for joining for a Dumpa Gay. Then what am I? What am I? What am I if I'm stripped of my right to think as an individual? I'm sorry, Riri.
Okay.
The real me doesn't know anything about love, so... No! She closed her eyes. Okay. I brought my cheek towards her own and softly whispered to her. I'm sorry. I said that of my own will.
Meito-san?
I embraced her. According to the script, I likely kissed her. Hence why I embraced her like that. But my will made me look to the side. I desperately wanted to resist. This is really fucked up. I sincerely wanted to cry. I held those tears back, though, because I knew I had to follow the script. This is insane. Even so, I couldn't hold back. I just couldn't. I'd go crazy. It was impossible. You fool. Riri-san's words were her own. They weren't part of the script. I couldn't say anything to her. A sense of regret reflexively spread throughout my body and mind. That regret was from not following the script. Didn't I say I was going to play along? Damn it. Was this all just a script? Were there really no other possibilities? Like, couldn't this be the real world, far removed from this crazy story? Couldn't today just end? And when I awoke, Shimon, So, and everyone else would be back to normal? And they'd soon show me something unrealistic, proving to me that this is all but... Good morning, Meito-kun. A dream. Or just some sort of virtual reality. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted this world of shadows to not exist. I just wanted a cute girl who was painted in black ink to be playing the role of Hibiki. And in reality, I, too, had a shadow. Just let me think that everything up until this point was all just an act. Shadowless. Stop it. Kiss me. No. Meito Tanabe, you wandered into this world holding questions about yourself. I don't want to hear it. The stage is reality for you. That's wrong. Our surroundings were quiet. Completely silent. This place was so peaceful, so beautiful when nothing of note happened. Shadowless. Why? Why was she capable of this? How can you do these absurd things? I couldn't act like that. It was impossible. Everyone and everything just felt pointless to me. You may not want this, but I want to show you something tomorrow. Show me what? The truth. The truth? Yes, the unmoving truth found in this world. I couldn't respond to her. My mental discord was recreated in this world as a blank space. You embracing me, she continued. Her voice was her own from when we first met. Her will had returned. Me being embraced by you. We're but idols. There's no meaning to our existence. That's right. She's exactly right. But acknowledging that fact was equivalent to the denial of my very existence. But I don't want to believe that. Isn't that what life is all about? People say to follow the path. In the end, though, it's you, someone with a will of their own, who will follow that path. Just, what exactly were Riri and I? Aren't we just living corpses? Aren't we just being controlled like marionettes? It's the exact same thing. Living corpses? I wanted her to deny it. That's why I said it with such emotion. It's not a bad way of putting it. But she didn't. What kind of expression was I wearing on my face at that moment? Was I able to keep a straight face? We have our own will, though, and so long as we possess a will, we can remain as ourselves. But even that, what meaning did that hold? Is suffering. Because we hold such a will, all we can do is look at our objective selves. I couldn't stand it. Yes, but we can think of ourselves as ourselves, to view things objectively as a dangerous weapon, Shadowless. A weapon? That's right. A weapon, an object used to battle others. To fight with? Yes. Against who? Myth. Oh shit! Listen. I can't imagine this is actually the case, but do you really not know about what the premise behind our existence is? Premise? She pondered for a moment, and then began to explain. Title drop. Yeah. So they're like in a story called Myth. And they have to like act it out to get people and shadows to get along. But people are fucking dying and everyone's losing their memory. So it's been a mess. This man is struggling with the fact that he has free will. Hello, Mark. How's it going? Why are we not induced to feel certain things? For example, hunger. Because we're characters? That's true for the people who live here, yes. But we're human, living beings, and as such, we should experience physiological phenomena. Do you really think we're truly human after hearing what I just told you? Are you saying that we're Einherjar, souls of the dead? We are corpses. How? That can't be right. We're dead? Calm yourself, Shadowless. We have to fight. Our souls will return to our bodies once Myth reaches its conclusion, Ragnarok. Who said that? Valkyrie, she said that as she guided us here. That we could return to where we came from. Otherwise, who would put up with this horrible plot? Do you remember? Do you remember the moment of your death? Yes, vividly. Dying isn't pleasant, especially when you're betrayed by someone. I don't want to experience that ever again. Shadowless, do you believe I'm acting out of my own goodwill for Ragnarok's sake? Of course I'm not. I'm acting in my own interests. Yeah, it's Chuni shit, don't worry about it. Shadowless. She had a clear goal in mind as she spoke. We're Einherjar. Our circumstances are the same, which means that you, too, have the choice to return to reality. I want to work together with you. I'm dead? Death? Murder? Am I dead? What happened where I came from? Can't unravel it. Mama, Papa, farewell. Mato, farewell. What? My brain hurt. I couldn't do it. I couldn't return to that place. I don't want to go back. I never want to go back there. Why not? Because Mama and Papa are gone. So what if your parents are gone? I can't do it. I can't unravel it without them. Unravel? Unravel what? I don't want to think about it anymore. Don't hesitate, Shadowless. It's your job to remain as yourself and to recall your past. No, I'm sick of this. I can't act like this anymore. She laughed. I figured she'd cheer me up somehow, because she was kind. That's why. Don't be naive, you fucking brat. Her words resounded so loudly in my chest. She called me a brat. Brat? Did you think I'd comfort you because I'm kind like that? Or do you think I'm gonna pick up your slack? No. Listen to me, Shadowless. This isn't a problem that only we face. It's a problem the world itself is encountering. We are definitely special in this world because we can do things that others can't. We're capable of changing this situation. No, we're the only ones who can. Maito Tanabe, decide. Don't try to rely on others. Don't expect a miracle, because miracles don't exist. True miracles occur after hundreds of thousands of occurrences. That's all they are. Do you want to just continue acting on this stage? Or do you want to act of your own will and attempt to coexist with these shadows? I'm done questioning you. The former is much easier, because it means you'll never have to think again. You'll live a superficial life, experience a superficial death, and as that repeats over and over, myth will reach its inevitable conclusion, Ragnarok. Myth will just be scrap paper. Are you really fine with that? I need you. You need me? Shadowless, you're a special existence, and myth seems to be revolving around you as its core. I believe that you hold the key to these mysteries. The key? I knit that sweater for you because I had a feeling that you'd be able to survive given your condition. A shadowless Einherjar, I believe that... Am I? You are the protagonist. Protagonist? I believe it's very possible. And who made that decision? Who knows? It's not like it's certain. But you are a complete mystery. It's up to you to decide, Maito Tanabe. Will you continue to just act on the stage, or will you try to change it? Me, myself, I don't know. I never wanted that role. Don't attack me. I just lived in the world I was born in. I have no other responsibility. I see. I thought she was gonna get mad at me, but that was all she said. I knew why, though. It was because I had to decide for myself. I had to decide what I would do from here on out, but 5 days. Huh? We have 5 days left. I'll choose how I spend those next 5 days. And I'll love you. I'll follow the plot of my own free will. Why? You're fascinating. That was a disgusting, calculated lie. Even I knew that. I was still holding her. She hugged me back just then, though.
Her body was so warm, and that action in itself was filled with such purpose. I slipped out of her arms. You're free to do that. But I'll do what I please, too. Do whatever you want. That's all I could say to her.
Yeah, the music, if I'm remembering right, the music was by Luck Ganriki. He did a 7th expansion thing, right? Composer who began working with Ryukishi starting with Umineko. He did Higanbana, Rose Guns Days, and Kikonia. Based? Or he did several tracks for those games. I knew some members of this Dojin circle ended up working for 7th expansion, but I couldn't remember who. 6th expansion! Hold on, we gotta read our notebook every day. Don't forget. Look at this every day. Nice.
Blank page. That was me. I had gone beyond that though. Beyond everything, even the framework of my very mind. I tried to remain optimistic. I followed along with Riri-san. It was like a parody. The writing was poor and cliched. It made me vomit.
This guy is always vomiting.
I escaped from reality, opting to meet with Shimon-san and Soo-san, playing with their decomposing—
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I think I enjoyed that, though. But the results were the same. Reality remained. Even if it was unrealistic. Me. Myself. I was confused, but even that was an oddity to me. Because I had gone beyond that. What I felt at this moment was my existence as a blank page, the disgusting creature known as Meito Tanabe. I learned the truth yesterday from Riri-san. We're dead. Maybe I was aware of that? Maybe I realized how unnatural things felt from the very beginning? Maybe that's what Meito Tanabe thought. No, that can't be right. I can't think. Because while he was Meito Tanabe, I am too. He was me, up until now. That's why I had no idea what was going on. I gazed at the spot on the ceiling as I lay under the warm covers. That small spot in the corner of the ceiling began to expand. It was like magic. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't seen. It was a silly impression to have. Just what did I want to do? What should I do here? No, I knew what I had to do. To change or not to change, that was all. To change into me. Or to remain as him. Am I me? Didn't I get it? I wasn't me. Meito Tanabe and I were different. Was it right for me to accept him? That creation of the script? Myself as Meito Tanabe. So long as I possessed a will, that would be nothing but suffering. To abandon my will, was that just simple laziness? Completion of the ego? That was my desire. Change, that was suffering. Samsara, that was the written pages. The path, to remain within the known boundaries. Out of bounds, that was terrifying. Traveling beyond those boundaries, that was terrifying. What I would do after this was scary, 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 scary. To change was scary. To know myself that wasn't an actor was scary. To return to my true self was scary. Yet, following along with or resisting the prepared plot, too, were both scary. I heard someone open the sliding door. It was Riri. I didn't want to interact with her for the time being. Meito-san?
She hadn't changed at all. The unnatural moving corpse entered the living room, and just that in and of itself was unpleasant.
Here's breakfast. Eat up.
I don't need to eat. Oh god! I won't die if I don't eat. I won't die. No, let me correct myself. Nothing can kill me.
Shadowless?
Her voice resounded in my ears. It was a voice full of sorrow. It didn't matter to me.
Let's go.
She pulled my hand. Where to?
The place I told you about yesterday. Let me show you the truth.
The scene would change whether I wanted it to or not anyway. Everything was in the hands of the creator. All I could do was follow along. I thought about that Hikage. I wondered. We passed through a number of places. By the time we reached the grasslands, I walked of my own will. Nothing was going to change. I just decided to keep following her. If only she'd realized that I didn't have the will to fight. Then she'd stop bothering with me. A cave. It was nostalgic. How many days had it been since I came through here? Did he hear, like, the voice coming from here? I forget. I forget when he was here before. Or did he follow Shimon here or something? My memories rose to the surface, none of which I particularly cared about. And what are we gonna do here? What I recalled was when I knew nothing and was still happy, back when it was just me and Shimon-san.
Open the gate.
The gate?
Shadowless, I believe I told you I was a sovereign.
No, you didn't.
But let me explain. The sovereign is the ultimate being in my world and holds the highest level—
The what? We have a sovereign and an oracle? Shut up, Karen.
In my world, people are divided into classes based on the possession of special powers, the highest class of which is the sovereign, for which only one worthy person is born in a century.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you're lucky to have me with you.
She began to mutter something to herself. I had heard it before, a long time ago, back when I first came here with Shimon-san. It was the same song as back then. I didn't remember the lyrics, though.
I have the ability to read people's minds. It's only been faintly effective here, but it helped nonetheless.
The gate opened. I wasn't surprised in the least. Nothing had any particular meaning anymore, and that applied to the gate as well.
Look ahead.
She urged me on. The expression on her face was serious. To say that I had no intention of doing that would be a lie, though. I was curious. And that was why I decided to look at the gate. Because I was curious. So I looked inside, and...
Nani nani.
I could feel the warm breeze.
Tadaima.
My bangs blew in the wind. The scent from the concrete suggested that it had just finished raining. The sky was slightly overcast. It must have been just a passing shower. This place was nostalgic. Even this backpack was nostalgic to me. There were 2 badges on it, a smiley face and a Hitchcock symbol. The Hitchcock one was slightly yellow because of how old it was. I got it during a festival. There were scratch marks on its cheek, and it was rusty. It reminded me of a Yakuza or something. One of my friends made fun of me over it. School. School was here. There was also a diner nearby. It also had a... all-you-can-drink special. If you ordered one thing, you could have unlimited refills for 105 yen. I always ordered the same thing. I'll have the basket of french fries. That was 180 yen. It totaled up to just 285 yen. It was a steal compared to local manga cafes. You could hang around as long as you liked, too. It was great. During the summer, I would... Man, on the day before a test, this just isn't fair. Always come here to study. Come on, Takano. Oh my god! She sent him in a different story! This is so cool! Ah. Come on, Takanobu. With my... Oh, maybe not. I don't know. We'd always have so much fun. It'd be fine if I could just copy his homework. No can do. You're supposed to do your homework every day. My dear friend. He wasn't wrong. He was right, in fact. I was just busy. It's just when you're busy working part-time, it's kinda... My part-time job at the convenience store really wasn't that tough. All I had to do was work the cash register. But I chose to be obstinate. Restocking the fridges with cans and stuff isn't easy. It's so cold you gotta wear a parka to do it. I was just bullshitting him. You probably don't realize this, but that could take hours. I was half joking. He'd never actually worked a part-time job before, so... No way. He ended up taking me seriously. This would work. He's just kidding. Don't take it seriously, Takanobu. Masahide butted in. He always got in my way like this. You spend too much time at your computer. That's why you don't think I'm serious, Masahide. Don't be dumb. You can't tell the difference between a lie and the truth. Here we go again. I'm sick of hearing him say that. You know, you're just really... Huh? You like saying that, don't you? You're just really... The other day, I used some of my earnings from my part-time job to buy a computer. Masahide kinda tempted me to. I had the basics down at least. Computers are super useful, and you can learn almost anything just by using search engines. Just being able to see the train schedule online and not having to ask a station attendant to hand me one alone made it worthwhile for me, considering how shy I am. And being able to look at porn and stuff. Well, I guess I could put that off until I was more used to using my computer. Masahide was saying there are a lot of things you need to watch out for with that sort of thing. He couldn't recommend it to a new user like me. Regardless, I was using my computer for the right reasons, unlike Masahide, who frequents anonymous message boards. Ugh, this is getting nowhere. Masahide began to laugh after saying that. What was so funny? What, am I using it wrong? No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Did I act too much like a know-it-all? I didn't feel like it. I just looked into it on my computer once I got home.
Hello, Loon. How's it going?
I want a computer too. Takanobu just had to say that. Oh, you should get one. Laptops are in these days, and while their CPUs aren't as fast, they're fine for general computing. Also, so long as you hook it up via wireless, because it caused Masahide to begin another lecture about computers. I couldn't bring up the homework for a little less than an hour because of that. All I could do was give half-hearted replies to Masahide as he droned on. I wish I had a computer. Oh yeah? Shinjuku. East Entrance Plaza. Why was Tokyo so full of people? I really didn't like it. I hated having to wait. I guess because the person I liked wasn't there. She hadn't shown up yet, like always. Yuri always showed up 10 minutes late. When we were supposed to meet, she'd always text me instead. Damn it. If only she understood what it was like to wait around for someone. I couldn't help but mutter that to the emoticon I've grown so accustomed to seeing. Poker face. She was probably all in reality, though. I could just show up 10 minutes later myself, but I didn't want to make her wait. I hated waiting, and I hated making others wait. I guess I was selfish. No, Yuri's the selfish one. I was just making excuses. I had time to kill until she showed up in any case. The one heroine in the dating sim Masahide loaned me said this when the protagonist showed up late to a date. I just watched the crowd. It's not a big deal. Quote unquote. Who knew, though? It just seemed annoying to me. I wasn't the kind of philosophical guy capable of being emotionally moved just by watching others. There are just too many people. That was the kind of person I was. Even though I knew that I'd be lonely if everyone just up and disappeared. Hell, it's not like that would ever happen. Just look at how many people there are. Something like that would never be possible in my lifetime. Maybe in the far future, though. Some afternoon TV show was playing on one of the huge displays. Tamo-san's getting old. He was known for all his wigs and stuff in the past, but I don't ever hear about him these days. His animal comedy routines are funny, though. Not that I've seen those lately either. He used to be pretty amusing, though. Only Takanobu understood the appeal of Tamo-san. I guess his style of comedy was just too old. I could hear my grandfather's clock playing from the record store. It's a little grating. I was soon enjoying the talk show with Tamo-san. Sorry for the wait. Oh, sorry for the wait! Yuri showed up right when they were about to introduce his friend. I was curious who they were going to bring out. I'd just catch the rest during the year-end special. Yuri showed up only 8 minutes late for once. I'm home. Oh, come on! I turned the lights on in my gloomy room.
Julia, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the White Rose Cafe.
Buildings were strange things. It was like, once you stepped foot inside of one, you were in a completely different world. Outside was more bright and fun than inside. Inside was just a mystery. Even though we were obviously still in the same world. Yeah, obviously. Welcome back. Mama spoke up. She was watching TV in the dark. That was one of the more normal things she did. She was strange. No, more than strange. She forced me to continue calling her Mama despite my age. But her behavior, the way she spoke, her actions, thought processes, everything was abnormal. Do you still have it? She always asked me that first thing when I got home. As her son, I shouldn't really say those things about her, but be careful, you'll lose your shadow otherwise. She really said some wacky stuff. So, yeah, I was careful. I still have it. That's how I check the notebook? Still the same. That's how I responded to her. Oh, wait! Meito's lover, she attends a Christian municipal high school. It seems like she has a bright future ahead of her, as she's attending a university prep school and is known for her good grades. She's a bit selfish and makes enemies easily, but that's part of her charm as well. She met Meito through a friend and they ended up dating. Yuri's charm and Meito's leniency is what keeps their relationship smoothly sailing. Oh my god. Same name, I guess. He has a somewhat timid side to him beneath his kind exterior. He's a sociable and calm bird. Okay, so he's the absolute opposite of our Tanabe. Interesting. Oh, this is labeled the first world. What's this then? Holy shit! Is this where they're coming from? Am I supposed to see this? Is this 5D chess with multiverse time travel? Yes. But with cute anime girls. Into the Tanabe-verse. capital of Agni, the world of possibility, world granted God's powers. What the fuck? Huh. She was bullied as a child for her green hair. Her personality is quite twisted as a result. She's very aggressive and will immediately act if threatened. Oh? She's 23? Oh my god. Man, I can't fucking read this. I feel like I shouldn't look at these yet. Alright, that's sick. Wait. The character sprites are different, that's so cool. That's so cool. Oh no. Wait, it says 25, and then on here it says 24. Kiki. You created? This rules. Of course, I wasn't actually careful. No, who would be? Someone's gonna take your shadow? That makes no sense. How could something like that be possible? It'd be nice if only Mama were like this, but Papa was strange too. It made me depressed. I was honestly impressed that they were able to get by with the way they were. The reason why I worked 5 days a week was because of that too. Papa said he'd be home early today. Huh. Papa worked for a company, surprisingly enough. He was actually the head of his department, which sounded crazy to me. I couldn't imagine someone so nutty as the head of a department. It was thanks to that our economical situation at home wasn't particularly poor, though. The problem, though, was that I couldn't find it in me to voluntarily be in their debt. That's why I worked part-time and bought anything I wanted with my own money. The same applied to any extra spending money, too. And food, cleaning, laundry. I paid for all of it on my own. I even wanted to pay for rent, but I held off. Leaving your home while you're still a student isn't easy. I'd have to quit my job at the convenience store and do physical labor if I wanted to do that. It wasn't the type of thing someone who wanted to make studying their livelihood should do. Mato. Mato, my name. I hated my name. People used to make fun of me during elementary school because of it. Even when I first started my part-time job, it was a joke. They always said the same thing. Maid tofu. What was so funny about that? It just bothered me. I was always saying how I wanted people to call me Tanabe instead due to that. Mato, listen. What? So annoying. I wanted her to stop. Although I was pissed, I think I managed to smile back at her. Mato, hello fella, how's it going? There's something I need to talk to you about once Papa comes home. Something you need to talk to me about? Oh. Julio, thank you so much for gifting 2 subs to Amazing Avian and Corner of Memories. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. I didn't want anything to do with them. It had been so long since I even chatted with Mama like this. I can't say it unless Papa comes home. We need light. Here we go again. According to my parents, my Papa was a being of light and my Mama was a being of shadow. So annoying. I had no idea when they first got into this occult kind of stuff. They were like that since I was born. I'm surprised I was able to mature into a normal person. Anyway, according to them, I was a person of true destiny, born from light and shadow. Their cult-like fanaticism with that was absurdly creepy. It was unbelievably annoying. I'll be in my room then. I left the living room after that. I was at my limit. What? Hey. Oh no. Hey, listen. What's wrong, Mato? Mato's scared. Because... Because Mama and Papa are both going to disappear, right? That's right. So I'll always be alone. Listen to me, Mato. Okay? We'll return. Once that's been unraveled, we'll return. Not so bad, right? Yeah. Take care. And unravel it. Okay. Bye now. Hey. What is it? What if I can't unravel it? What will happen then? Then... Ragnarok. Papa... Mama? Papa, Mama. They're really gone. I can't do this. I can't unravel it. I can't do that on my own. I can't go there. Swapped over to Mato's room, mainline Mato's room, and unravel it. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's nothing at all. No.
Let's go. What did you see?
That was my world. 2002, Tokyo.
Hmm.
That made no sense. Provided my memory's correct, then that means that the gate was an entrance that led me here. Which meant that what it led to was obvious. There was no way my world lay beyond that. Otherwise, why did you show me that?
Don't know.
You don't know?
I just followed the plot.
Huh? Fucking Odin. I don't like her. What do you mean?
The plot was mixed with our will.
Then that means...
That was something Odin wrote. As far as I know, the gate can't see into other worlds.
Odin did that? Why?
It's not for me to know. Anyway, tell me, what did you see there in that Tokyo?
I saw my world, and it was... I can't remember. I just know that I saw something, and it made me sad. I had to unravel something, otherwise...
Otherwise?
Ragnarok would occur.
What?
Yeah, my mama said Ragnarok.
So your odd existence, too, is linked with the meaning behind myth.
Those blank pages for those 2 days must have been your panicking. Riri-san turned around. Where are you going?
We're going back. There's no point in us hanging around.
The scene would change if we just stayed here eventually, but Riri-san still insisted on leaving the cave herself. It was almost like that action in itself was a declaration of war against Odin. Brother. Acceptance.
Food's ready.
Oh, so we're having bacon and eggs today? Having decided there would be no denying them, I was simply ignoring all the things I didn't like about this world. Our relationship had changed to one of lovers now. We've been having a lot of Western dishes lately.
Do you not like that?
No, that's not it. I put the greasy bacon in my mouth after I told her so.
How was it?
It's good. A broad smile formed on her face. Seeing her smile like that made me feel a number of different things, though.
Meito-san?
Because she showed me the reality of the situation.
There are only 3 days left.
As she smiled like that. Don't forget, check notebook. Thank you. Look at this every day. Wait. Okay. Right.
I want to learn more about you before then. We can only act of our own will for a short time in the script, after all. Is that okay?
Sure.
So, like I said, I want to know more about you.
She bombarded me with questions about myself. My age, my personality, my interests, what I liked and disliked, what I felt in that world without shadows, about my jerk-off habits and whether I was still a virgin. And I answered everything truthfully. I didn't feel any shame. It wasn't like that information was data concerning me anymore.
I see. Then...
I reflected on myself as I introduced myself to her. So much of that was proof of my very being, but it meant nothing. It was all for show. I should stop thinking so hard. The truth, however, was that I wanted to escape from this harsh reality.
Notebook?
Riri-san was curious about what I just told her. I was talking about what life was like since I first came to this world of shadows.
So, ever since Shimon died, you've been keeping a record of things in that notebook?
Right. I felt like I shouldn't forget about them. The way she went like that was unique to her, and always implied there was more than she let on.
Could you show it to me?
She must have had something in mind. I handed her the notebook I was carrying in my pocket. This is it. The notebook had its own peculiarities to it. She scanned the pages in silence. What could that mean? Was this all just part of the plot? I waited for her to speak up.
You should keep writing things down.
Why?
Look, everything's still here.
Isn't that obvious, though? I mean, I did write it myself, after all. Oh.
Continue keeping a record of what's going on. Don't spare any details.
I figured out what she was getting at. She was talking about how significant the notebook might be.
If this notebook's still around in the next loop,
we've got some hope now. She let out a hearty chuckle unbefitting of her.
Don't you think it's strange, Shadowless?
What is? After we ate, Riri-san came to the veranda to talk.
The difference between our acting and our real actions.
I don't follow.
Think about it. We're still on the stage even now. But here we are, talking like this.
Oh, one sec. Okay. Yeah.
We couldn't do this at first.
Is that true?
I tried to exchange information with Shimon, but the scene immediately changed. You showed up.
Huh.
But after you awoke to yourself, it seems things have begun to change.
Right.
Doesn't that make you happy? It should, since you're able to be yourself.
No, it really doesn't.
Well, I guess that makes sense for you.
Jesus Christ.
As I acted as a character in Myth, I felt like I was beginning to get a feel for the general rules behind Odin's instructions. For example, the scene changed just now. It wasn't like I had actually walked here myself. I just felt that I was here before I realized it. There was always a reason behind that movement. That was rule number 1. In this instance... Meito-san? I was speaking with Riri-san. I had no idea how many scenes we'd covered already, but the scene was likely depicting Meito sick of waiting for Riri to return after shopping and going to pick her up. You're pretty late. Yeah, I had to go out of my way today. I was able to get everything for free. Food, goods. Isn't that just plain theft? That was rule number 2. That thought I had just now wasn't my own. The lines Odin prepared for me to think had a direct effect on my mind. These thoughts existed to obstruct my will and would appear in such a way that it seemed like they were actually born of it. It was incredibly frustrating. And it was something that I was going to have to put up with for a long time, and the same was likely true of Riri-san as she was forced to follow the plot and go shopping. Please look forward to dinner tonight. It was almost like you said what was prepared in the script all by yourself if you weren't careful. It was incredibly unpleasant to speak things you didn't actually think. Look forward to? To what? It's a secret. That must mean that it's going to be something special. Who knows? Is it whale? That's a little dated. You fell for my leading question. Looks like that's for dinner. You're too easy, Riri. I slipped up. I don't get it. Pointless conversations, pointless fiction before us. I had to follow all of that, though, as a character in this story. Riri-san and I held hands as we went back home. Oh my god. Sorry. I didn't get to finish this anime. This ugly yet beautiful world. Someone celebrated this world as such. Whether that was actually true was something I didn't know. I had too much on my plate just maintaining myself. How could I afford to actually ponder about this world? It made me want to question how anyone could do that, because someone did indeed celebrate this world as such. There was no doubt about it. The feelings I embraced at that moment were likely the results of the wind blowing across the grasslands. The stage was beautiful. No one could say otherwise. Its beauty was almost creepy. Some guy, thank you so much for the follow. Enjoy your stay at the White Rose Cafe. It wasn't ugly or hideous. It had no faults at all. If you were to say that something in this wonderful world was ugly, then perhaps that would be me. If I didn't have a will of my own, I would have been able to die as a piece of this beautiful world. If I didn't know it was just gonna loop, then I could have continued to die over and over again. That's what I thought, at least. Everything before me was not what it seemed, but it was so beautiful, so vividly distinct, and so vast that it was like my very existence could disappear within it. Why am I... It made me uneasy. It made me fear myself. The word birth would be more appropriate, applied to the character known as Meito Tanabe. That made more sense. But that wasn't right either. The moment my will emerged, I too was born. Thinking that made me afraid of myself. If my will didn't intervene, then I could have spent my days as a humble resident of this beautiful world. It was beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh yeah, this ugly yet beautiful world. Someone celebrated this world as such. If that was this world's natural way of being, according to that celebrant. What are you doing out here, Meito-san? And I had no choice but to continue to exist. Oh, is it already time for dinner? Already? It's sunset. My own ugliness taught me this world's beauty. You're right. And I could do naught but accept that. The setting sun is so pretty. Yeah. The world was beautiful today, too. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dinner's ready. Riri carried dinner to the table with a smile on her face. Cool. Wait, what the heck is that? She placed dishes holding oddly colored food. It should be very familiar to you. Wait, isn't this food from my world? Like I said, it should be very familiar to you. I'm happy, but I wonder what everyone in that world is doing right now. I was curious about that, but
That world didn't concern me anymore. It was just another creation. It was no different from this world. And the people who lived in Maid Tanabe's world didn't worry about others. And even that setting was powerless before us. It doesn't really move me. My fake past was being recalled in front of me. Food known as ready-to-eat meals. That's what I was used to in my world. That's what was eaten in Meito Tanabe's world, but they weren't your standard ready-to-eat meals. It was either sloppy liquid or solid food. It had a flavor to it, despite being so thoroughly designed to be without anything that was useless. It was exactly what you'd expect. Oh yeah, I forgot. In his initial world that he came from, they basically eat like calorie mate. They eat like concentrated nutrition with no unnecessary like flavor or color or anything.
It should still make you feel nostalgic, though.
She smiled, and well, yeah, thought of my Meito Tanabe's world against my will. A world without true structure. My character was still compelled to think, though, about what everyone was doing. What a cynical line. Thanks for the meal. I ate that food so closely resembling that of Meito Tanabe's world. It tasted good. That was all, though. It was missing something. It was optimal and perfect. Everything about it was perfect. The meal contained white fish, tasted fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was perfect. However, it was lacking. Because it was so perfect, and the fact that it was white fish made that all the more obvious. I only knew this because of the time I spent in this world of shadows. It doesn't taste burned at all. There's perfection, that imperfection. This kind of meal lacked that, though. Charred taste of the fish, its shape.
I see.
Oh, there's no speech tag. I like your cooking more. I much preferred those imperfections to these ready-to-eat meals.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. The notebook was before me. I took out a pencil from my bag and gazed at my notebook. It was time for me to write down what happened. I had to write down everything that happened today as accurately and in as much detail as possible. I also wrote down subjective thoughts concerning what would happen in the future and all the questions I had in mind. In addition, I wrote down general impressions I had. I wrote and continued to write. The blank page was soon filled with words. Had I ever written so much before? Meito Tanabe, probably did back in that other world. These words formed what would be a link to the future. And this notebook would serve to deliver that link. How ironic. It was practically meaningless. Meito Tanabe never learned of anything in class that would aid him in a situation like this, nor did I learn anything about this world of shadows. All that was taught in school was common knowledge. Common sense, common knowledge, common ethics, and none of that was of any use to me right now. Teacher, when are we gonna use this in the real world? Because it was all merely fabrication, this giant fictitious world. Thinking about it made me want to correct myself, though. It wasn't entirely without use to me, because I was able to remember that they were the remnants of the character named Meito Tanabe's life. And that wasn't without worth. The remnants of what formed Meito Tanabe. That's why I was able to look at those remnants without reserve. As the real Meito Tanabe. Thank you. I had to give my thanks to the teachers for teaching Meito Tanabe those things. I also had to thank Meito Tanabe's classmates for allowing him to live on. What? Meito Tanabe's parents deserve thanks, too, for raising me, to be the contrarian I was. The world itself was worthy of thanks for making me realize that I was imperfect. I gotta check the notebook!
Meito-san.
Not now. I'm busy. To the next me. If you're viewing this notebook in possession of your own will, read the rest from start to finish. What I write here may be unbelievable to you, or your will rather, now, but it's all true. If this seems impossible to believe, then try to remember your friends or parents. You shouldn't be able to. That's the truth. Next, I'll explain why you're where you are, and why this notebook exists. Omitted. The above is all the facts I currently know. Yeah? Even if you still have some doubts, please accept this as the truth and review this notebook every day. First story. The story you're about to read is something that you've personally experienced. I can't imagine the story you have to go through now will go exactly like this, but regardless, I'll summarize the 20-day story I partook in. Blank. Oh! Is that whoa? So ki means it's presumed to be part of the plot? I forget which kana is the bottom one. It's not raw. It looks like it's collected. Either way. Day 1. Met Shimon and went to the Shadow World. Met Hibiki and the Shadow Girl. Felt disgust towards shadows and fled, but ultimately returned to the Shadow Village. An obvious progression when I think about it now. Went to the grasslands to search for the voice. Met So and Riri. That night, So finds my dirty book. Day 3. Got Shimon and Riri's help with looking for the voice. Had them go to the chief's house for me. Info. Kotomi may have a book about the voice. I worked on building a secret base with So and Hibiki. This is for the purpose of getting used to shadows. Day 4. Got Shimon and Riri's help with looking for the voice. I had them go to Kotomi's house for me. Kotomi didn't know of the book about the voice. Info. A woman who knows about the voice on the outskirts of the village? So Hibiki and I worked on a secret base. I tried talking with Hibiki on the way back and seemed to get the hang of interacting with shadows within the plot. Using that newfound comfort, I started searching for the voice again the next day. Argued with So at night. Day 5. Went to see the woman who knows about the voice. Wasn't there. It's far away, so we decided to wait until the next day to visit again. Found So and Hibiki that night. My character learned the importance of doing something for someone assaulted by So. Day 6. Gathered information around town. Met the chief in Kotomi. Kotomi did have a book about a voice. Went to the house of the woman who knows about the voice. Found the book about the voice. Briefly looked through the book. Gave me a sense of deja vu. Something related to myth? 7. Oh no, that's still the same. After dinner, Shimon abruptly got mad. I think there's a very high chance those were Valkyrie's feelings, judging by how off it was from the story. Why was she mad, though? Was there something inconvenient about what my character had done? That night, So and I discussed Shimon's birthday party. Someone came to my room while I was asleep and kept whispering, "Not here, not here, not here." Particular point of interest. I'm almost positive Shimon's anger was her actual feelings outside of the story. Assuming that's true, there's a high probability she's the one who entered my room while I was sleeping. This is only a guess as of right now, though. And then there's what she said. If my guess is right, I think it was probably the book about the voice that she was looking for. This would explain why she got mad at my character, as well as why my true will woke up that night. However, and here's the important part, it was absolutely my character who got the book. That means it happened as part of the plot, so I'd have thought it shouldn't be problematic for Shimon. I believe it's possible this says something about myth and the relationship between Shimon and Odin, so I wrote as many details as possible. I hope you use this info. Day 7. Used the morning to relax. The chief showed up and talked to me about peeking into the bath. So asked me to build her a bike. Day 12, So's death had a related plotline. The world fell apart on day 15, though, so I don't know how that was supposed to end. Maybe foreshadowing for the latter half of the plot. Decided to make fireworks for Shimon. Peeked on the bath after dinner. Asked about the relationship between the chief and Shimon. Someone snuck into my room at night. Day 8, making fireworks, got the help of the villagers. Riri whispered 8 days. My character felt something was off about the speed at which things had transgressed, but forgot about it after the scene transition. Sol got injured and was upset she couldn't help with the fireworks anymore. Day 9, making fireworks. Went with the chief to check out the mountain. So went missing. We searched, but didn't find her. Day 10, searched for So. Shimon interrupted us to tell me something. She found the woman who knows about the voice. My character prioritized looking for So. Found So. Watched Shimon's room to make sure she didn't find out about the birthday party. She was writing something. It made me feel uneasy. Shimon's birthday party. The fireworks were sent from atop the mountain. Shimon talked to me in the middle of the night. There's a high chance this was Valkyrie talking, so let me write exactly what was said as best I can remember. Oh no. Allow me to say farewell. We'll meet again. I promise. I won't let the tears you shed go to waste. Day 11. Went with So to the chief's house to see something. Assumption. Shimon died and Hibiki disappeared. Day 12. Made a bike with So. Assumption. So died. I lost my mind. Day 13. Unknown. I had my will back and was experiencing deranged delusions. Day 14. Unknown. Same as above. Day 15. Regained my sanity. Reminisced about a movie in my room at night. Day 16. Ordinary routine with Riri. At night, Riri confessed her love to me. Day 17. Riri brought me to the gate. Day 18. Ordinary routine with Riri. Riri and Meito Tanabe created a home-like feel. At night, had a discussion about death, marked as both in plot and out of plot. Holy shit. Alright.
Meito-san.
The two of us gazed at the scenery on the veranda. We held hands like lovers would do. They were a bit sweaty. I could feel that wet sweat, but I didn't know which of us it belonged to.
What do you think?
About?
The end.
The approaching inevitability. Our definitive final days. That came but a week ago for Shimon-san, and 6 days ago for Kiki-san. Just 3 more days. It had already been decided.
Yeah.
3 days. Just 3 days. 3 days remained in our lives.
It's all over for us after that. I'd like to learn more about Hibiki's disappearance before then.
But yeah. It really made me wonder, though. Why didn't Odin depict us interacting with the shadows? We had to follow the village's rules since we were here. Odin's objective is for those of us with bodies to coexist with the shadows. Doesn't that mean that you'd have to write about us interacting with them in that case? I couldn't understand what Odin's true intentions were.
Meito-san.
Hmm?
To be blunt, you're an abnormality.
Yeah.
That's why I'm betting on you. Can I borrow your shoulder?
Why?
Plot demands it.
She leaned against my shoulder before I had a chance to reply.
Meito-san.
Yeah.
Do you know what death is?
I know what the word means, at least.
I see.
She giggled. It was almost like she was saying I was wrong.
Are you afraid of dying?
Well, yeah.
I am too.
She gripped my shirt. Her small shoulders began to faintly tremble. It brought to mind a small, fragile ragdoll.
Even if you can faintly remember your death, explaining that pain and suffering is nearly an impossibility.
Are you just following the script right now?
Who knows?
Her answer was vague. Her voice trembled, though. Was she just putting on an act? Is this just some foreshadowing where we talked of death? Or was she actually terrified? Riri-san was an incredibly capable actor. She'd cry and laugh on cue, so I really didn't know if that was of her own will. Is it really that scary to die?
You'll know once you experience.
You'll know once you experience it yourself. She was likely confused because the impressions her character held strongly reflected her real ones. Death. Everyone was afraid of it, no matter how many times one experienced it. I can't talk, I'm sorry. A particular line came to mind. Sorry, let me say the line I was going to. It was an awful line. Would she be able to endure hearing it? Or would she go mad in this threshold between truth and acting? I hesitated. I wasn't sure what to do.
Okay.
Her tone was shaky. Right. I knew. I knew about her, the real her, at least a little bit. She was always strong. She could always continue to act without hesitating. That's why I knew it was fine if I said this. I'll always be here for you. I said it. That line was likely intended to make her cry. My character was the strong one, saying that to the weak Riri. Don't cry. I'll always be by your side, even in death. So, don't worry. The truth, though, was the opposite. I was the weak one. Odin likely didn't realize this, but my hands were always shaking. My shaking hands were different from the trembling of her shoulders, though. It was more real. Riri. Naito Tanabe embraced the character, Riri's shoulders. However, the real person behind that character was... Riri-san. Am I actually soothing you?
Meito-san. Meito-san.
Am I able to wipe away your tears? The real you, not those scripted tears wept by that determined yet weak play doll. The tone of her sobs was lower than usual, so I embraced her. I pulled her head towards my chest. I tried to express my own feelings at that moment, even if it was a scripted action. Riri-san, I'll do my best. I'll show you that I can be stronger. I vowed to do just that as I continued to embrace her while the incessant sounds of the insects surrounded us. Holy shit. Jesus. This feels so nostalgic. It's been so long since we had a myth stream. I half wanted to use the classic Takako model. I thought it'd be really funny. It's so fucking keynote. You like it? I'm glad. It's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom. We'll do a quick BRB. Stretch your legs, drink some water. I think we'll do a longer stream than usual because I really want to make a bunch of progress on this. So, alright, I'll be back in a second. Bye. Hi, thank you for waiting. Oh, ho, ho. Anybody wanna play poker? Are you a poker expert? Weba, hi, hi, tadaima. Okay. My thoughts began to blend together. It was bewildering. I was more determined to do what I had to from here on out. I was trying to change, to take full control of myself, but I wasn't there just yet. Regardless, I still didn't know what I should be doing. But if I were really trying to change, then maybe I wouldn't have ever had thoughts like this. I had two options, just like Riri-san did. She was making breakfast at the moment. To continue acting as a character, or to reject that and rebel. Those were my two choices. To continue acting as a character was by far the easier of the two choices. The world would go on as such if I could do that. That was too hard for me, though, because I had a will of my own. No problem. Thanks for hanging out, Cronus. The choice might have been decided the moment I realized I was just a character, though. In other words, choice number 2, to rebel. Rebel. It was logical to do that. Of course, in things like comics or novels, the plot would develop in such a way that the person would choose number 2. Morally speaking, choice 2 made the most sense as well. But 2 meant that... Was I even qualified to be an Einherjar? Was I even qualified to be a character? I couldn't directly link myself to either, but I knew that choosing number 2 was what I had to do. I was afraid of actually rebelling, to view what's happening at present as a real event in both a subjective and objective sense. Only I knew just how terrifying and confusing that would be. That was all.
The weather's nice today.
Riri-san was next to me before I realized it. We were holding hands. Are you okay? I shuddered. I was worried about her. The character me, that is. It made me nauseous. I hated it.
Thank you. I'm fine.
Riri's strength was real. I'll be here for you.
Thank you.
Was a sneer hidden behind that smile of hers? Did she realize just how cowardly I actually was? Please don't take notice of that. Tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Are you worried?
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Huh?
I wasn't expecting myself to say that. Just where was I gonna bring her? Unfamiliar scenery lay before us. It was the cave with the gate. We're here.
This is where...
Please open the gate.
Why?
Don't worry. She listened to my character and began to recite the incantation required to open the gate. Space began to warp and bend, and the gate slowly opened. What's wrong with her face? You should have asked that earlier. God, she looks fine now.
How's it going? What's up? I only learned how to do this because of Shimon. Is that good enough?
That's fine. Now, look into the gate.
All right.
She didn't resist any longer. Maybe she'd noticed that I was just playing my role. What do you see?
My world. It's nostalgic.
Shimon-san there?
No.
So? No, Kiki-san?
Yes. It looks like it's before she suppressed her power.
Am I there? What are you trying to say, Shadowless? I didn't know, actually. This was something that Meito Tanabe was doing. Huh? The character Meito Tanabe? That doesn't make sense. Why would he know of the truth? I didn't get it at all. All I could do was entrust my words to him, Meito Tanabe. Keep looking. What's it like in there?
The capital, Mitakami, in the year 200 Agni.
What's beyond that?
Beyond that?
What can you see?
Beyond that, there's...
There's?
Someone.
Someone?
I don't know.
You must know.
But I don't.
Look harder.
It looks like a person?
Is it some black entity?
Yeah, a person. Like they're dyed jet black.
Doesn't it look like a shadow?
Yeah, it's a shadow, but who...
Is Berserker his shadow? Is that why he doesn't have one? Oh my god! Keep looking. Don't give up.
It's...
You've seen it before?
Yes, it's very familiar to me.
Is it yours?
Yeah,
Very familiar.
Very familiar.
Who are you? Don't stop. Keep looking. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? What's going on? How? Because I'm the protagonist. Are you doing this of your own will? I am. You're lying. What would you say if I were? You must be lying. You're not answering me. What are you? Didn't you say it yourself? I'm the lead role. What's this music? I'm at the center of this world. Maid Tanabe. It's only natural for me to know that, right? For I'm this world's storyteller. Are you? Am I behind this? Are you asking me if I created this world? The answer's no. But you know everything. Who knows? How could you have done this otherwise? Why are lead roles considered cool, Riri? Why? Why does the lead role come to save the day and become a hero? The answer's simple. Because they're the subject. This entire world revolves around my point of view. You know what that means, right? That means that the author and I, the protagonist, are gods of this world. Still confused? Allow me to put it bluntly. In this world, your very existence. Hello? It's just a supporting role. Sorry. I'd regained control of my will a few minutes ago. Forgive me. All I could do was... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Apologize for what I said. Sorry, I'm so sorry. All I could was walk, in tune with Maid Tanabe. I possessed the will of the lead role, and yet... It's okay. You're not at fault. How long had Riri-san been hanging your head for? She must have been crying. I was the one who made her cry. Maid Tanabe did. I said that I said such terrible things to her. To call her a supporting role is just awful. It's the truth. I'm a supporting role. No. I wanted to tell her that wasn't true. I wanted to deny it. A person to inform the protagonist of the truth and to provide information to them, that was a supporting role's job. That much was true, but it's no problem. She acted like it meant nothing as she smiled at me. So long as I'm here. Even if I'm just a supporting role, so long as I exist, I'm happy. I knew, though. This might sound a bit cliché, but I have a place to return to. I live with a will of my own. I know who I am. I know my place. Yeah. There's a place where I am the lead role. It's just in a different world. That was right. She had her own stage, a place of her own to be the lead role. That's why I want to return there. She really was strong. I truly believed that. However, Shadowless, I am. Maid Tanabe, the protagonist of this story, is the worst. I'm the protagonist of the story, Maid Tanabe. I live in a world governed by what's right. A number of things led me, a student, to step foot into this world of shadows. At least, on the surface, that's who I am. My will was weak, and I barely even knew where I was supposed to return to. I was inferior to my character. My character was much stronger than I was. Because he's the protagonist of this story, he must be stronger than anyone else. Could I persist in acting out his will? Or could I find the answer myself?
Maid Tanabe, you know everything.
Yeah. She was right. I knew, or at the very least, I was capable of knowing. I was even capable of knowing everything there was to know about myth. But I didn't actually know that. Maid Tanabe did, though. It was frustrating. I felt such chagrin for not being able to act as I wanted. Riri-san? I questioned her. I wanted to ask her about why she was doing something that seemingly wasn't part of the script. Why are you holding me? Why would you do that?
Because I pity your weakness.
Something trickled down my cheek after I heard her say that. The first tear was entirely unexpected. I couldn't even change the expression on my face.
You must change, Shadowless. Even if that takes numerous loops, don't give up, or
regret not being able to do it last time and try again. After that first tear, though, I was able to cry with an appropriate look on my face. I want to be a person. I didn't want to just be a creature full of lament laying on the tracks someone else built. I want to act as a person. I want to move with my own 2 feet. I want to decide things on my own. I want to be human. Don't write that in your notebook. I'll just laugh at you next time around. Okay. Let's solve this together, Shadowless. You, me, and Kiki. She was so kind. That's how I felt, at least. That is, if the author hadn't used any incorrect terminology when writing those words. Let's go, Meito-san. Oops. To page 20, the ending. Here we go! Gushu. 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 It's pretty. Oh, it's pretty. Me or the stars? Gushu. I'm just kidding. You're both pretty, I suppose. I suppose? We had reached the end. The first loop was almost over, even though we didn't manage to find any clues concerning Hibiki. It was nighttime. This was likely the final scene. The final conversation between Riri and Meito Tanabe. I wonder what'll happen tomorrow. I said that, even though I knew there was no tomorrow waiting for us. I wonder. Riri-san continued with her act, though. Maybe they'll come back. Who? Wait, oh, did he say that? Oh, I'm sorry, maybe they'll come back. Who? Hibiki. Huh? What?
Hibiki-chan isn't coming back, because she's...
She seemed to have noticed just how odd the line she said was. Fucking Odin. Her expression was filled with rage. She must have known what happened to Hibiki. Shadowless, the notebook. Grab the notebook. Oh, I forgot to check it. What an unnerving ending. What was Odin planning? The only thing I could say for sure was that Odin wanted us to coexist with the shadows, and there was something besides that she must have granted to us. I had no knowledge of the truth behind Hibiki's disappearance, and the answer was buried with Riri. She'd probably use her power to regain her will again, but it was unlikely that she'd regain any memories from the previous loop, because it wasn't like Riri could recall what would happen in the future, or now. What was the meaning behind what Odin was showing me? Was this just her playing around? No, was this all some sick joke? That seemed to be the most fitting explanation. In that case, I could never forgive Odin. If I ever met her, I'd... perhaps... Assuming that this notebook will be left behind. If Odin would do something like that. No, she probably will do that. But it'll mean that I'll be in the most advantageous position among the Einherjar. Because it means that I'll be able to learn about what happened during this loop. It was my duty to follow this script. That formed the basis for all my actions in this world. So I'll choose to love those shadows. To put an end to this crazy story, and so I can return to where I came from. I'll love them. I vowed to do just that as I prayed for this final, frustrating scene to end. Ah! Welcome to hell, welcome to hell! They sure do look down on me. I heard her say that as I passed by her room. I looked inside. She was staring at her book. I didn't really get it, but she looked at it like it was the most important thing in the world. I wonder why. Just as I thought that, she ripped a page out from the book. Why did she do that? Do what? I was surprised. She noticed me. She didn't seem to understand what I was asking her. Didn't you just finish writing that, though? This is fine. She smiled. It was beautiful. What have you been up to before? What have you been up to after what happened before? Well, I figured it out. Figured what out? Love. Love to me is to eat. To eat is to die, so I couldn't really put it into words. But she giggled, so she must have picked up on what I was trying to say. Keep on killing. Kill lots and lots. I really liked seeing her smile. Freyr-san, Thor-san, I liked seeing all of them smile, but her smile was a little different for me. It made me so happy to see her smile like that, so I was determined to kill those shadows, so that she would smile more. And eventually, I'm sure I'd be able to eat those shadows, But for now, I'd just kill them. Can I rip that out?
Can I rip that out?
She meant the notebook I had. What I wrote down must have been torn out.
Is there a reason why you're writing that?
There is. Wait, but... Who's... The notebook... Oh, he's holding her notebook, sorry. Is there a reason why you're writing that?
There is.
Really?
Yes.
She threw the crumpled paper onto the floor and took her pen in hand again. You're going to write more?
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep writing forever?
I'll finish eventually.
Did you really have any intention of putting an end to it? I was surprised. A girl showed up behind Odin-san. She wore black clothes that were very similar to Odin-san's. She seemed angry. Very angry. And who's this? Oh, and who's this? The girl noticed me and asked Odin-san that.
A new Ridari. His name's Berserker.
She stared at my face. I see. Then muttered that. I see? See what? I didn't get it. Anyway, take this seriously. The girl left after saying that to Odin-san. I caught a glance of her face behind her pink hair. It was so... I'm just doing what I can. The girl was gone, but Odin-san still replied. She didn't smile when she said that like she usually did, though. Seeing her face made me think about her eventual death. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh! Completed episode 1 determination. Holy shit. So this is a notebook now? Wait. Cool. Oh! Oh, we got a lot to read. We got plenty to read. Character chart. Oh, it's her! She's getting mad at herself. Valkyrie gets mad at Odin. Okay. Can we see the note? Yeah, check notebook. But Ryuri-san saw in the gate. Oh, this is so cool. So Ryuri saw either Maid Totanabe or Shimon-san in the gate, which deeply disturbed her. She saw someone's shadow. One of those two. About my past? Oh my god. I can't... It's just... I see. I understand. How long is this game? Good question. Actually, let me check. 2 years to finish chapter 1, about the same rate I finished book. No. We're gonna slam through it from now on. It's also gotten weird enough that it feels like right to pursue it. You know what I mean? It's only like 20. Oh, okay. You looked up what I was gonna look up. 20 hours. Medium 19 and 47. Yeah, it's not so bad. We could probably slam through this before the end of the year, no? Maybe. We'll see. Since this is a good stopping point, I might stop here, actually. But thank you so much for hanging out this whole time. I didn't expect such a big turnout, so I really appreciate it. Very glad we can all have fun like this. I just finished my work. Let's go. I'm so sorry, bastard. Alright, let's read. Let's read Jets, I think. Glad I could catch up on not knowing what is going. Yeah, I'll upload the VOD for this one as soon as we're done to the Myth playlist on my VOD channel, which is slowly getting updated. Slowly. You can find that here. I'll probably make a command for that. So that'll be up tonight. Tonight's will be up tonight. Slowly, yeah. In the meantime, let's raid Jets. We can do... Let's do a classic maid raid. I'm only just getting to know her. There we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Thanks for stream, Mato Mato. Anyway, this game is fucked. I want to read it myself. Good news, you can. Alright. Then I will be on tomorrow at the usual time, new usual, the 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight, EDT, whatever it is. With more little goody two-shoes. So,
Otsukara. Oyasumi.
let's do our best again tomorrow, okay? Good night!
Good night.